full image of like an animal being killed, merciful, right? But I would argue that if you purchase like commercial like animal product, like this is not how it really works. I think this is just like to ease your conscience.
I don't think, well, we're getting into some type of religious stuff here, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, but basically, whenever you purchase something from the supermarket, right? And even if you purchase something that has been killed, like very friendly, right? You're still flipping a coin all the time. You're flipping a coin, and you don't know what happens. And you always have the guarantee not to cause any exploitation by choosing the safest bet.
If you
And that
don't
is
mind, if you
right.
don't mind, look, if you don't mind, I think, I don't think, I just believe actually, since God created those animals and actually allowed us to get as much use of these animals as possible, I think that's enough for me to be convinced by. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's actually
Okay.
premised in
Well,
the Quran and Hadith.
First of all, a god is not like any type of creation that you may see like a human or any type of being around us right now. That's like the first thing. Secondly, since we have like a proof so that God that God allows us to get use of cows and sheep and other types of animals, then yeah, I think that's enough for me to be convinced by. Yeah.
It's allowed in the
Will he
Quran. You're allowed to
will he
eat meat.
command?
Yeah. And the Quran is the word of God. So yeah,
So
I
so
wouldn't say
so in
anything.
general. So you just like asking me. I'm sorry, but you just like asking me that if God, if Allah, commanded me to kill, right? Oh, yes. God, the internet. Say again. The internet. My internet's so bad here right now. I'm sorry.
Oh, I apologize. So, if Allah looked down at you and
Yeah.
and could see that you, Hussein, you have a choice. You have a choice to pay for exploitation and killing of animals, or to not pay for exploitation of killing of animals. Would he commend you for the choice that you are making right now to exploit and kill animals if you don't have to, if you have the choice not to? Basically, you have two choices, to exploit and kill animals and not to exploit and kill animals. You choose to exploit and kill animals. Do you think Allah is commending you knowing that you have a choice not to?
No, he's not commanding me. He said, like, you're allowed to kill that animal, but in a merciful way.
No, I mean, would
Okay?
he?
You're
Would
allowed
he?
to kill, but you're also,
It's not. It's not what I'm asking, Hussein. It's not what I'm asking. You don't understand the question. I apologize. I'm asking, would he look
That's okay.
favorably on you for your choice to exploit and kill his creatures when you don't have to, when you have a choice not to, right?
I don't have a choice. Well, it's already been there. in
No,
our
what do you mean?
book,
No, it's a supply and demand. Those animals are bred so that people like you buy them, buy their corpse, buy their exploitation. It's not like, it's not
Yes,
just
permissible.
there. It doesn't appear out of thin air, right? Somebody is breeding, exploiting, and killing these animals because they expect your money for it. So the
Yeah, I
question
know.
is, would Allah look favorably on you for making the choice to exploit and kill his creatures?
I have a choice.
Yes, exactly. And you're making the choice to exploit and kill his creatures.
I have a choice. I have a choice to pay for that or not,
Yeah.
since it's permissible to have a choice.
So I'm asking you,
But
Jesus
it-
Christ,
but
it's a
it-
simple question. Can you please answer it?
I'm trying.
Answer that for you. I told you it's allowed in the Quran. It's allowed in Islam. to eat meat.
Everybody fucking understands that it's allowed in Quran.
Yeah.
I'm asking something else.
Quran is the word of God. So,
Hussein,
I don't
and
know
you
what's
have the
answer
choice
that
to
you
do
want.
it or not to do it. I know it's fucking allowed, right?
So,
it's not
as
demanded, right? So you have a choice to exploit and kill animals or to not exploit and kill animals. It's because it's not demanded. Allah doesn't demand you to kill his fucking creatures.
Yeah, actually, it's demanded in certain, let's say, holidays, like in Eid al-Adha.
Community.
It's required to slaughter a goat, I think. Yeah.
No, it's looked like
Yeah,
the
yeah, that's
imams
actually a
say
good
it's looked
point.
favorably for you, but it's just the imams saying that. Nowhere in Quran or Hadith does it say that you have to kill animals for food,
No,
right?
you have to. No, you actually have animal for food.
Can you show me
on
that
the
fucking
Eid al-Adha.
that surah, please?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Maybe somebody can explain to Hussein what I'm actually asking, but because I don't think Hussein understands still. So Val, maybe you can rephrase me somehow.
What exactly about what?
No, first of all,
Jesus Christ.
I
I
need
sent
to
the link.
learn some English here, so don't expect me to be.
Yeah. So about like the two possible. About like the two possible worlds, like
Yeah,
which
yeah,
God
yeah.
would prefer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, I
Hussein,
can-
all that postmortem is actually trying to get at you is basically this: if we have like two possible worlds, right? In which in the one world you are using and abusing and killing animals, right? And in the other world you don't do that thing, where you don't kill the animal. Which of the two worlds would your God prefer?
Well, God gave us this one world. You can't like.
Yeah, no, you're not engaging with that.
make
But I'm
two worlds.
I'm asking you what kind these two possible worlds in which exploitation occurs of animals and no exploitation of animals occur. Which one would your God prefer? Simple.
I answered this question 3 times or 4 times. We're still answering the same.
Yeah, you're not answering the question though.
About him,
Look at the link.
not
that I
God.
sent.
Not want to prepare.
Right, y'all are talking at the same time, so please, just one at a time. OP, what did you want to ask? Or what do you want to say?
I just wanted to say that you wasn't asking about what God will prefer. You were asking about what he, the Iraqi guy, would prefer.
No.
Right?
No, I was asking about Allah. What would Allah prefer looking at
What
Hussein
is
making the choice to exploit and kill his
what?
animals when he doesn't have to?
Hey.
Allah has already written his words in the book. We don't have an actual choice about what does God have to, does he have a choice? Of course he doesn't have.
What do you mean? You have the choice. You already admitted that you have the choice, Hussein.
Yeah, I have a choice because
What are
he
you
gave
saying?
me a choice.
That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking. You have the choice to not exploit and kill God's creatures. Do you think Allah looks
really,
favorably at your choice
no.
to exploit and kill God's creatures? Like,
Yes,
when
you are saying-
since it's been inside.
you are
that
talking all
type
together,
of
just
circle,
one at a
like,
time, please.
I'm not like. That's. Look. Do I prefer to kill? If I need to kill and to eat, then yes. Since it's being permissible, then yes. Since it's not killing for fun and for overconsumption, then yes.
Kinda is for fun because you can choose not to.
No, we don't do it for fun. We eat.
You
We
can choose not to.
survive.
You can choose
No,
to
no,
eat
that's a good
plants. You can choose to eat plants. You can choose not to. You've already admitted it.
I love eating plants. It's more important to have a plant dish in my food on my fucking table. It's as important as having meat. But since I have a choice to actually eat meat and just to get all the nutrients from it.
You
then I
can
would
get
do
all the
it.
nutrients from plants, though. Why are you mixing this in?
I
Go
like
without
having
supplements.
meat.
Don't need to eat meat.
Exactly. So it's you liking it. So it's you liking it. So it's pleasure. So it's a choice for pleasure.
No, it's not that. The root of it is like it's permissible.
Jesus, you're going in circles. You're not even interacting with my fucking
You
question.
can get all your
Why?
nutrients from plants without supplements.
Yeah, you can add supplements into it. Don't see a problem there.
Okay, without supplements.
Well, you can
Well,
add
at this
supplements
point,
into
having
it. I don't see a problem there.
From plants only.
Well, it's the supplements are made from something that is not an animal.
Okay, but
It
you
is an
don't see a
animal.
problem
I
with
can
eating
enjoy it.
supplements?
Yes,
Okay,
I
just
appreciate
like-
fixing my mistake. It's from plants and supplements, plants and non-animals. All right? Oh, animals and non-animals.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, of course. I'm the one who's touting about supplementation all the fucking time. So, and you
Yeah,
know
but-
this.
Yeah, I know this, but
Yeah.
you don't see a problem with just eating a lot of supplements just because you like.
It's not a
Your
multi-supplement.
diet
It's a
lacks in certain-
multi-supplement to make sure you're going to be okay, but you're not eating it. You're taking one pill in a day, and then you eat just plant food. That's all you do.
But
And you're fine. You get all
The
the
fact is-
nutrients.
the factors that make the supplement may take a lot of area and waste a lot of resources, just so that you.
Oh my god! I think we went over this yesterday, right?
Yeah, we went-
You can't compare. Yeah, but you can't compare. Even if it is true that we have not to suddenly increase like B12 factories or whatever, right? This is
Yeah.
nothing in compared to like the animal industry.
But also,
not?
animals are supplemented in the animal industry. Animals are supplemented. A lot of supplements. You're basically eating secondhand supplements.
Yeah. If
But-
you eat omega-3s, right, the fish, right, fatty
Yeah.
fish actually consume microalgae. So my question is, why would you not like consume the direct source anyways? Why would you kill the fish? Makes no sense.
Do you think it's feasible for humans to farm algae just
Even fish is not the source of omega-3.
All the guys.
They are eating algae in the seas.
Yes, that's what I was saying.
They are not the
Microalgae.
first source.
Yes,
Sorry?
they have to eat it in order to get it. Yes. And I'm not talking about the world, I'm also talking about you at this point. I'm only talking about you. Obviously, the more the world will be vegan, we will find solutions. We don't always have to look at problems, we have to look at solutions.
I just quickly want to point out something. Like, sure, if you have a preference not to eat supplements, that's whatever, that's your preference. But what we are talking about, it's letting the animals live, right?
Yeah.
That's their preference. They want to live. And if you can actually prevent animals from being killed by just taking a supplement, then you're helping someone. You're actually actively helping someone live, or not be born into a life of just suffering.
Okay, but what do you think would happen if everyone on Earth became a vegan?
Oh, the world would benefit
animals.
so much.
The
Oh my
animals
god.
that are
Yeah.
domesticated, like the sheep,
Before
the
I
cows.
go shopping,
Will they live a normal life after?
Hold on.
all
I'll actually
become
give you a
vegans?
really good answer. I'll give you a really good answer
Yeah.
before I have to go shopping. Those animals, the livestock animals, would not exist.
Yeah, they will die.
No. They
In the nature.
No. They wouldn't die because they wouldn't exist.
Okay, if we started by being vegans, you mean? But we are already not vegans. So
I will let you guys.
Bepis, let me
what will
remind
happen
you
to all the
that-
cows and sheep that are
So
in the farms now?
So this
is my main
this
question.
hypothetical, unless you assume otherwise, this hypothetical of yours assumes like an abrupt change of the entire world. But
Yeah.
obviously, veganism will imply gradualism, right? So the world
Yeah.
will become vegan gradually, not abruptly.
Okay.
So if the world becomes vegan gradually, the creation of new sentient beings will decrease gradually. So overpopulation is not gonna happen.
Wait, I actually have a study for this, not this one. Sorry, I got the wrong one. If you look in the
Do you
chart-
understand?
Yeah, I
But
understand.
do you understand?
But
Yeah,
also
yeah.
that
Yeah.
these animals will die in nature because they're used to. They depend on humans because they were domesticated that way.
Yeah, we should take care of them. We shouldn't kill them, right? So the ones that are hold on,
Yeah,
the ones
if we
that
leave
are
them in nature, they will die.
yeah. Listen.
In
The
other
ones that are
ways.
Pepis, please
Okay, sorry.
consider listening sometimes. So the animals we already bred into existence, we just keep feeding them until they die natural, right? Until they reach their lifespan. But then we don't breed more animals into existence. That's it.
So that's the solution to this.
I mean, if the world went vegan tomorrow, yes, that would have to be the solution. Very unfortunately, that's not what's going to happen. It's going to happen gradually. One person at a time is going to take the responsibility for their actions, and less animals are going to be bred. Farms are going to start growing
die
oats
naturally.
instead of animals. So,
Okay. How about pets? What do you think about pets?
sorry?
What about
Guys,
pets?
can I say
I don't understand what you're saying, Bepis.
Pets, like cats and dogs.
So I would transition it from being called a pet to being called a guardian. Frankly, and it's not just like a semantic transition, it's also like a mental transition, because then you're gonna bring somebody into your family, you're gonna adopt them, you're gonna save them from, and pets shouldn't be like bred, right? There are breeders who just like profit from this, like from bringing them into existence. That I think
but
shouldn't happen, but.
Aren't they bred to get the best features? Like
Well, we shouldn't breed them for us, for whatever we want from them. We should breed them. We should like let them just live, right?
This is how dogs became dogs.
I understand. I understand, but it was fucked up to do. And look how many millions of dogs are dying because we're not taking care of them. We're just breeding more dogs.
And do you think like owning a dog is not exploitation?
Again, I wouldn't say it should be ownership. It should be guardianship. If you're taking somebody into your family and you're taking care of them, like as if they were your child, right? That's not ownership. It's a fucked up terminology to have, right? You're taking care of them. They're part of your family. That's companionship or guardianship.
Okay, so if I take a goat and take care of it without killing it, like I take care of this goat or this cow until it dies, and then after it dies, I eat its meat. Is that okay?
If that's what you intended to do, then it still would be exploitation. But generally speaking, if you like walk around in India and you find a cow carcass, right, which also shouldn't exist, frankly, it's because India is terrible with cows, terrible with animal welfare in any case, or animal exploitation. But like if you walk around like in the woods and find the carcass and you want to eat it, I mean, who am I to tell you, no, you didn't kill them, you didn't exploit them, that's fine.
Like I keep it in my home, then after it dies.
Well, it just sounds like you want to exploit them. It just sounds like you're keeping them to only exploit them. Would you eat your dog? Would you eat your dog?
It depends. No.
What do you mean? Depends on what?
They would not eat it.
I mean, you want to keep a cow as a pet,
sake
and
of
then
argument.
at the end of their life to eat them.
Saying-
So I'm asking,
you're
what's
saying
the
that-
problem with doing it to a dog as well, right?
You're saying that you're not exploiting the dog. It's
Yeah.
a companionship.
Yeah. If you would you eat your
Also a
grandma?
companionship with a cow.
Would you eat
It's
your
my
grandma or
companion.
your child if they died?
My grandma is not my
Yes.
dog.
Yep. It's a different
Yeah,
thing.
so it's basically this, right? So if you formed a relationship with that animal, right? Like in the
Yeah.
same way you do with like a dog, if you want to eat them, whatever. If you have like no heart and you really want to eat their body, then yeah, okay. What can I say at this point? Just do it if you want to, right? But at the very least, don't create more of these animals.
But I think you
That's
also
it.
have no heart because you enslave the dog and you try to
No,
use it
no,
for
because it's not-
guardianship. Or
What do you
Yeah.
mean?
What?
Like if you adopt a child, is that enslavement? If you go to like orphanage and adopt a child,
Child's not my dog.
is that
But
But if the
enslavement?
child doesn't want to be adopted by you, how do you know it wants to be adopted by you?
Well, the child doesn't want to be adopted like specifically by me either, right? But if you go to an orphanage and adopt a child or adopt a dog in a kennel, so those are slaves? Slaves?
Yeah, because they don't have
Yeah.
a choice. You took them without their consent.
Yeah,
So,
you think
Yeah,
you think
basically
adopting a
enslaving them.
child and taking care of them is slavery?
Yeah,
Then
even
you
if
have like
take-
a weird.
if you took
You're
a
missing
slave
the
in
context
past and you
here.
took care of it,
You're
that's
missing
still-
the context here,
would it
Bepis.
be not? Okay, no. If you took a slave in the past and took care of him, would he be not a slave?
No, because a slave is somebody that you buy to exploit.
No, you take care of him and he gives you services.
No, a slave is somebody that you buy and sell to exploit. That's part of the definition of being a slave. If you buy a child
what
so
do you do?
that, if you take a child from an orphanage just so that they work for you, then it would be slavery. If you adopt a child from an orphanage to take care of them, that's literally like the biggest virtue on earth. You're taking a living being, a sentient being from a bad reality and you put them
Yeah.
in a good one.
So,
Even if you take
Yeah,
care
so
of them,
let's-
how do you know they want to be adopted by
Yeah.
you? That's the main point here.
yeah, exactly. So let's go back to this topic about consent and whether whether we can know whether they want it. So obviously, we have to talk here in probabilities, right? So we can't say without a shadow of a doubt that they want it. But what we can do is we can assess their current situation, their needs, our competency, and whether it would be in their best interest.
Yeah.
Right? Because they can't make that assessment. We have to do it for them. Right? So obviously we have to be somewhat competent. If I am let's say, I don't know, like an addict of some sort, I should probably not do it. Let's say, it's just an example. I have nothing against drug addicts, but I'm just telling you, I have to be economically stable. I would say I should be well off, maybe well adjusted as well in some respects, you know. And then maybe it is permissible, right? Because I can't console the baby. I can't know what is in their best interest. I have to make assumptions, right? In the same way, we do it the same with coma patients. We try to look at their best interest, even if we can't get their consent right now.
Okay, so you're a vegan, right? So if I was like, let's say I'm a child and I was adopted by you, maybe I don't want to be adopted in a vegan family, for example.
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
So you-
But it would be in that
so
child's
yeah, I
best
don't have a
interest.
choice in this. How do you know?
Oh, because
How
a
do
vegan
you
diet
know
sets you
how-
up for a
how-
healthier life. And like all the compassion to animals is like also very important for a growing human.
But you would still have a choice.
What?
It's very interesting question, but
He
I
doesn't
think
have a choice.
vegans should ask that question.
Yeah,
Because
so
a
here-
child can want to be do not eat meat. It's more reasonable, I think.
So here's the thing,
You
guys.
are always asking this question. It's
This applies.
meaningless.
This issue. Listen, this issue applies
Yeah,
to all
obviously.
sorts of things, right? I could also say the same thing about religion as well, right? So your child has like no control over that. You don't know whether they actually want to be brought up religious. You have no idea, right?
So
Now,
veganism is
so-
like a religion. So
Yeah, by
that's
the way,
No, it's
The
making a
ideas are
comparison doesn't mean
changing
it's
in the
like
child.
it. You can make a comparison between a human and a dog. Doesn't mean it's the same object, right? So he's making a comparison because it fits here. So somebody
But you make a
growing up in a
comparison.
religious household doesn't have a choice. But the parents think that the religion is going to be for the best interest of a child. I disagree. But somebody who's raising their children like that, they think they're doing it for their best interest. The best interest is the context that you are missing, guys. When somebody is in a way that they can't consent or have no ability to even comprehend what consent is, it's then on competent adults to come and make decisions for them. If your child has a aching tooth, it's on you as an adult to take them to the dentist to make that decision for them, even though it's temporarily going to hurt that child. They're not going to like it. They probably, if you ask them, do you want to go to a dentist or do you not want to go to a dentist, they probably wouldn't consent to it. But it's in their best interest because they are at the age where they can't have an informed consent. They don't know what it would be like to grow up with no teeth, right? So
they
same thing
experience-
for dogs.
These experiences, they need to get it from the older person. Obviously.
Guys, you were talking about children. I wish I could just jump in like this because I am pedagogical college student and I look at this topic from a more pedagogical point of view. My field is the children. I care deeply about them and I've seen already a lot of reports of obsessive vegans who restrict their children from animal protein.
Well,
Please do not interrupt. Thank you. A growing organism. Vegetable protein, as I've heard, cannot completely replace animal protein. And it is terrible for children's health. It doesn't matter what choice you made, you're an adult. Please just don't ruin your child's life. The child will make his choice later at Caution's age. And when I had a pedagogical practice, I've seen several children who had these parents. And already almost every group of children has disabilities. And I'm scared what will happen in the future. The general health of younger students is already poor. Me being future teacher, I have additional education how to handle children with disabilities. Like before, I didn't have to long ago, but now I have to because there's too many children like this. Maybe I'm wrong, but as I've heard, vegetable protein can't replace animal protein completely for a child. I need to mention this for a child,
Okay.
not for an adult. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not.
Are you
not
done?
sure.
Sorry, I apologize.
Yes.
Are you done? Okay.
Yes.
So, looking at case reports is inherently biasing you against something, right? Because what you're looking at is extreme examples of bad parenting, frankly speaking, right? And from that, you conclude that plant protein is worse than animal protein, where we already have some data that it's not the case. If a child is fed enough protein, then they get all the amino acids that they need to grow as strong as somebody who eats animal products. But the point is that there are also case reports of omnivorous parents mistreating their children children or feeding them poorly, do you think, like in America, the general population feeding their child McDonald's almost every single day or pizza almost every single day sets them up for good health? I think not. So every diet has its things that needs to be taken care of, right? So in case of an omnivorous diet, it would be prudent for parents actually to feed them more plants, right? Because it sets the kids up for cardiovascular disease and obesity if they eat a lot of animal products and junk foods, obviously. So in parents who are feeding their children plants, they just need to first of all, give them a multivitamin, and second of all, just feed them more complex, higher protein sources like tofu, like beans, lentils, seitan. Seitan would be great, tempeh, stuff like that, right? So just parents shouldn't neglect protein. So most examples that I saw of vegan children exhibiting some kind of problems is when the parents didn't supplement them because they didn't know, right? Nobody knows, not all parents know exactly what to feed their children, or because they were like some kind of weirdo fruitarian people. And that's not what veganism is. Veganism is taking care of yourself first and foremost as well.
Yeah, so to summarize, basically, we have to be very careful with personal experiences, like case studies that Postmortem mentioned. We have to be very careful. And adding to that is also, the thing is, everyone on this, or like the majority of people in this planet, are omnivores. So it is not a headline if you mention the title, Omnivorous Parents Almost Killed Their Children. But it is a headline if you mention veganism, because veganism is something that goes against the mainstream, quote unquote, right? So no one would actually mention omnivorous diet because it is the norm, right? So you always have to be careful, and you have to look at the evidence, at research, where a lot of people are being studied, right?
Val, you complete me.
I mean, I don't care, honestly. I don't care about adults who chose to be vegan. It's their choice, like, but I'm scared about children. Like, it's just really concerning. But thank you for explanation. Maybe I'm wrong.
Listen, it's a matter of we don't like. So it's a matter of looking at research that doesn't start with case reports, basically. Especially, I think there aren't even that many case reports about like vegan children. There are like actual studies, and in that, if they're supplemented, they're incredibly healthy. There is like a few centimeters difference in height until they hit like 18 or 21, but that's mitigated by the fact that they have much lower risk of cardiovascular disease at later life. So there are pluses and minuses, and generally speaking, vegan children are set up for a healthier, longer life. If they are fed properly, if they're supplemented properly, if they're not on a weird, strange fruitarian diet motivated by not compassion for animals, but some other stupid shit, right? There are like, do you know, Amy, do you know about like the carnivore dieters? Have you heard that?
I'm not sure, because maybe my lack of English experience. Can you like explain this word in similar words?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, just my level of English is about B1 or B2 maximum.
You sound fantastic. You're doing a great job. So,
thank you. I appreciate that.
So the carnivore dieters are people who eat only animal products, and specifically mostly beef.
I need to be honest with you. My father tried this diet. It's terrible. I'm really scared of his health too, because you can't be without vegetables. Vegetables is really important for your health too. I mean, well, he was only following this diet for 2 months. I'm really happy that he started to eat vegetables again, as I told him.
Can I ask you what happened? that he started again?
Nothing happened, but he was. I don't understand why he was so sure that this diet will help him to lose the weight. It was pretty funny for me. To be
Yeah.
honest.
So actually losing weight on that diet is the only thing that is good about it. But then people fall into terrible deficiencies because eating just beef and eggs or something like that, we're obviously gonna strip you of quite a few minerals and even a few vitamins. But it's becoming more prevalent for some reason as a fix-all diet. My point is though, right, you probably shouldn't feed your children a carnivorous diet, although some carnivores are trying to do that as well, which would be also a child abuse, I would say. So just the point is not to follow a stupid meme internet diet touted by like two quacks or doctors, like doctors in quotes unquote, right? And that's what people who eat like only fruitarian diet, they kind of fell for a grift. They kind of fell for a diet that isn't sufficient and in protein, as you mentioned, but also it has quite a few minerals missing in them, and then don't supplement. So, like I would say, all children should take a multivitamin just to make sure. It's just that important when somebody is growing up, and eat enough protein. And if it's plant protein, they're going to be fine. They're going to get all the amino acids. They're going to build all the muscle. Maybe they should eat like a few grams more per weight or something like that, right? But we're getting there. We're making foods that are better tasting, but also with higher content of protein, right? So sometimes vegan foods have more protein than their animal counterparts. Like Beyond the Meat, that's what they do. They always uptake beef. They give one more, right? So it's 1 gram per calories more of protein. And
What about creatine?
Sorry?
What about creatine?
Creatine is not a problem because it's made out of 3 amino acids. If you get enough amino acids, your liver is going to produce creatine. In fact, outside of like weird disorders, like congenital disorders, it's almost impossible to fall into creatine deficiency. Now, there are benefits of getting more creatine, right? And that's always supplemented. You can't get it from foods. Maybe on a carnivore diet, but overall that carnivore diet is a bad idea, I think. So just supplement it if you are like afraid of it, right?
I still disagree
Well,
about
like,
this.
I gotta keep this
I'm
one.
just for a balanced diet, at least for children. That's
Well, I'm not sure what you're basing it on, because sounds like you're basing it on a few headlines, the way Val said, right? The vegan fed the child only almond milk. Yeah, that's abuse. But there are like thousands, if not tens of thousands, of vegan children who are absolutely normative, high percentile, have all the vitamins, growing fine, the bones are strong, and all that stuff, It's just like a plant diet, a plant predominant or a plant exclusive diet can be improved upon, and then it's going to be much healthier. Right, so it's like falling for this stuff that like the protein is not the same. It's unfortunately it's a bit of a propaganda. It's not true. All plants have all amino acids. So I don't know. Like,
well,
I don't know what to tell you.
If I can quite support or add a little bit from your opinions, I would say that. In the case of child nutrition and which diet that they choose or their parent choose for the kid, I would say that what matters, I don't really see which diet is much better than the other. What I see the best is as long as their nutritional needs are met, it's either like from proteins or amino acids, like those vitamin B12, which vitamin B12 has been known to be is in low amount in vegetables, but it's to your point, I also agree that technological advancement, especially in biotechnology, right? Veganism is heading towards, I don't know, maybe more and more, for example, those Beyond Meat and all those like, you know, like vegan type meat or something. So like high protein vegetables, right? So yeah, I would say that veganism is heading towards a good light. But if you are forcing your child to have like a traditional vegan diet, for example, like, you know, you like, for example, because proteins, especially in natural form, and you know, like in vegetables, usually is found on nuts. Am I correct? I forget. I think it's nuts, right? Like nuts and
Beans.
No, mostly
milks.
legumes, beans, and nuts. So if you
Yeah,
if
like
you
the
check out
beans,
my
right?
share, there is a little information here. So I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off. I'm gonna let you continue in a second. But
Sure, go ahead.
yeah, so those on top are essential amino acids, right? And those are non-essential. And if you can see, all plant products have all 9 essential amino acids, right? So vegetables, even fruits, but just like to a smaller amount, right? And like probably leucine and lysine and stuff like that are gonna be a little lower. But legumes, beans, lentils, peas, it's almost on the same level as animal foods, right? And grains and pasta, yeah, coming close. And tofus are not here. Nuts is not the best like protein source, but it has all 9 amino acids. So generally speaking, it's not a problem. You just have to match the protein.
I agree. I
Yeah,
fully
thank you.
agree with that statement. The point that I'm trying to make across is that usually there's vegans who just doesn't, you know, like know the it's not just vegans per se, a lot of omnivores and just, you know, like basically everyone who doesn't really have any idea on how kids grow, like how important the first 1,000 days of child growth are. Usually they skip, you know, like they just gave anything to their child, and in which would having, you know, like having long-term effects. For example, like what Amy just said, deformities, or, you know, like on, you know, like a really slow brain processing power or something like that. I forgot the English term of it, but you get what I mean. Like they have less, their body is less, you know, like is deformed. They would have a higher chance to get deformities or something like that. If either it's physical or mentally, like it could happen. And I'm not just saying veganism.
I don't think you have like evidence for that, frankly. I mean, yes, people should feed the children like a fully supplemented diet and stuff like that. But you're making the claim that it's specifically on a vegan diet, and I have a problem with that. Because, as I said, there are bad vegan diets and there are good vegan diets. There are bad omnivorous diets and there are good omnivorous diets. All carnivorous diets are really bad, though. But they're part of an omnivorous diet, so that's a bad omnivorous diet.
Carnivore diet, I also doesn't support that, obviously, because everything, we are omnivores for a reason, because we need other, you know, like vitamins or other like healthy, eat our greens or something like that. That doesn't really have that doesn't really is included in vegetables and stuff. But what I'm trying to say is that yes, I agree with you. The point that I'm trying to make is that it's not about the matter of choice of which diet that you choose. It's which is it the bad one or is it the good one? Like is it nutritionally is it good for the child? Is it does it met its needs for its growth? Like if it meets the child's requirement for growth, especially in the first 1,000 days of life, then go ahead and do those diets for your child. And I would hope for the best, and I would, because not everything is towards diet, right? So
actually you don't even have to hope for it, because we have modern medicine. And
yeah, we have supplements. God damn it. Oh, Val, you cutting out again. I'm so sorry. So, yeah, I get your point. Sorry. Gal, you cut out for like a whole minute there. I get your point. Yeah, people should be more careful with diets. Everybody. That's why even omnivorous children usually are supplemented, right? At least in the West, in Europe and stuff like that. So, you know, yeah, give your child a multi-supplement just to make sure they're not like missing out on anything. Feed them enough protein, enough healthy fats, which all of those you can get on a plant-based diet. Feed them whole grains, which are fantastic for health outcomes. And that's it. I don't know, I'm like, and again, even like checking, right, we have research for like vegan children, vegan versus vegetarian versus omnivorous children, right? And it's just like taking children out of population. So people who don't have like all the, like a perfect knowledge of nutrition. And yeah, they're like maybe missing a few nutrients if they don't supplement, which is a stupid thing to do, right? But generally speaking, they have like much smaller risk for cardiovascular disease. And therefore researchers, after like doing that epidemiological trial, they're just saying, well, they just need to give them a supplement so that the plant-based diet makes it even better, right? So their conclusion is plant-based diets are amazing, but kids should be also supplemented to not miss out on those a few vitamins and minerals like B12 and stuff like that, right? So the research, even in children, points towards plant-based diets, or at least plant-predominant diets, right? And away from just regular omnivorous diets because of cardiovascular disease. I have that study open somewhere, by the way, if anybody wants to check it out. I can look for it. Should add it here, frankly. Why is everybody so quiet all of a sudden?
I have a question.
Of course.
I have a question.
Go for it.
Oh, yeah. Well, if someone has anemia.
Someone has a what? Sorry?
Anemia.
I don't know what that is. Can you write it in the chat, please?
Hold on.
Yeah, I would appreciate it.
I think he means anemia.
Oh, anemia.
I think, right?
Iron deficiency?
Anemia, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, anemia.
Mm-hmm.
So, how would a vegan diet would help someone with anemia?
Well, funny that you ask. Anecdote time. I used to have anemia. I also have a sleeping disorder that is correlated with low ferritin levels. I used to have. So listen up. I have a sleeping disorder that correlates with low ferritin. And low ferritin is just low storage of iron, right? How I fix it, I just take a supplement. But also plant foods do have iron. So what happens is if somebody doesn't have anemia, but they eat just like a good vegan diet, even without supplementing iron, they're gonna get enough iron from tofu, from lentils, from greens, from eating those foods with some kind of vitamin C, because vitamin C boosts the absorption of iron. But my thing is, you can just take a supplement and eat whatever you want.
All right, then come here and convince my mom to just buy me supplements and take it. She wouldn't let me.
Sorry, can I ask you how old are you, Hussein?
I'm gonna turn to 20.
Okay, so 20 is already a man, right?
Yeah, but I don't have a. We're very different from the Western culture.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, I understand.
So, yeah. Like
So-
I don't have my proper apartment, any job right now.
Do you have a store next to you? Like, you know what? The question is, do you have like some kind of a medical store? Like, what is it called?
Nope, no, it is very far away.
Well,
It's
if you get a
very far
headache,
away.
what do you do?
Well, we do have some, what do you call it, some medicine here
Yeah.
at the house.
Yeah. So if next time you need to top off on medicine, just go to that store where you buy medicine, and you can also
Well,
buy iron.
My mother would say, I don't prefer to buy supplements. I don't trust supplements. I trust eating actual natural food rather than just supplements and absorbing supplements.
So that's a problem, Hussein, and I appreciate, and I'm sorry,
I'm
that's
quite
your,
skinny.
yeah.
Say that I'm quite skinny, and that affects my energy levels throughout the day. Like sometimes when I just like get up, like in an instant, like immediately, I get lightheaded. I don't quite see well. Like for a short period of time, my vision turns black. I don't see anything
Yeah.
for just 5 seconds. Yeah.
Oh, shit. That's a part
one
of
the
anemia, yeah.
effects of- Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think
I
so
didn't do
too.
any medical tests yet, but I think so. I just
Yeah. Do you have do you have like money,
Sorry.
Hussein? Do you have
Yeah.
like money?
money. Well, I do, but
Okay. Do you have like
they're quite expensive here. They're quite like the medical tests
Yeah.
and the supplement. They're quite expensive.
Okay, so I guess iron supplement is off the table. So we're gonna have to resort to like actual food. So lentils. You have access to lentils?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Any type of
Yeah.
vegetables and yeah.
Yeah. So pack up a lot of lentils. So eat like twice the amount or 3 times the amount that you usually eat, right? So just like eat more. It's also gonna bulk you up. It's gonna make you like less skinny because you're gonna eat a lot of it. And eat something that has vitamin C with it. So like either some kind of a greens, like leafy greens like parsley or like coriander or something like that, or kale or whatever, or like a green salad like a lettuce, or like just like eat an orange right after, or put a lemon on the lentils. I don't know if you like the taste of that kind of stuff. So vitamin C helps absorbing iron into your body. And lentils have a lot of iron, so.
Well, about iron, do drinking a lot of tea, because we do here in Iraq, do drinking a lot of tea affect the, let's say, the absorption of iron and the breakdown of iron in your body?
Well, there is some evidence that drinking something like coffee and tea does impede the absorption of iron, yeah. There is some evidence for it. I'm not incredibly familiar whether it's good evidence or bad evidence. But just like switching to like mint tea, just clear tea without caffeine would be probably help you out.
So just like decrease the, let's say, the amount that I drink every day. So I do drink like 2 to 3 cups a day, like on a daily basis.
No, just switch it to mint tea. Mint has a lot of iron, like an insane amount. So instead of putting the tea leaves, just put mint in there. And maybe
Mint.
like a lemon, and then holy shit, you have like a drink that has iron and aids with absorption of iron, so helps you absorb iron instead of leaching it, instead of like impeding it, right?
Well, exactly.
Yeah. It's small change. Listen, here's the thing. Here's the thing about the human condition. We don't like to change. We're doing something we're kind of used to. So you're used to drinking 3 times a day, this specific tea, like green tea or whatever. So you're like, well, that's what I do. But no, you don't have to surrender yourself to a condition of what you are doing right now. You can change stuff. You can help yourself out and change, make this incredible change of eating more lentils to gain weight and to get more iron, and stopping drinking that tea that like impedes the absorption of iron, probably, right? Make those changes and you're not going to be like, falling down anymore.
More changes would make it.
Yeah. Change is good, and it's scary. I know it because I changed a lot in my life. But once you change something big, right? Like something like drinking tea 3 times a day. Once you change that and you replace it with something else, something that is not as detrimental to your health, you're going to get addicted to changing yourself. Because you'll see all of a sudden, right? You've changed and your life became better. So you're gonna do more change.
I could help.
Oh, okay.
I could help you.
Yeah.
I could help you maybe a little bit because, I studied psychology, only a bachelor right now. But there are obviously some things you can keep in mind to make change a little bit easier, right? So I don't even have to go like in deep psychology. But for instance, make it more visible. For example, right, for the tea or lentils, keep it into your notepad and write down next time you go grocery store, buy bulk of lentils, for instance. Prepare it in advance. Make it visually appealing. Like you have to see it all the time. So exactly. Yeah, exactly. So make it easier to get the new habit and make it harder for the old habit. Now, obviously, I'm not telling you not to drink any black tea anymore. You can drink it, but try to increase the new behavior a bit more often. For instance, I also do this on my own. With food that is going to get spoiled very soon. I try to keep it like in front of my eyes in the kitchen, so that I'm more likely to prepare it.
Hello.
Yeah. Sorry for.
Getting back to the change is like you're afraid to
Mustafa, can you mute yourself?
constantly.
Mustafa, can you mute yourself, please? Mustafa, can you mute yourself, please? Thank you. Yeah, Hussein, you can speak.
Yeah. Back to the change thing. I wouldn't say that change is actually something scary. It's more of a burden that you have to get rid of. Being afraid to change.
Mustafa, seriously, can you please mute yourself? Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, can you repeat that, Hussein?
Yeah, sure. Back to the change thing. I wouldn't say that change is scary. I would say that change is more of a burden, more of a burden to deal with day to day, time to time.
Yeah, for a little while, because your body. So here's the thing. Here's why Val and I talk about it being scary. It's kind of ingrained in us because we kind of.
You study psychology too?
It's just the subject that I really like. I make videos on it as well. I read a lot of papers, but I'm definitely not a professional or something like that. It's just like something that becomes also kind of intuitive. Yeah.
I'm interested into it.
Yeah. So. Yeah, maybe the word scary is wrong in your case. It's the thing that you think, I'm gonna have to like learn new stuff. I'm gonna have to like actually think about what I'm doing, because about 70% of what we do on a daily basis, we don't even think about it. It's called automated knowledge. It's something that you just like, we learned once and then we just repeat it. Like brushing your teeth. You're not really thinking about it. You're just doing it. More morning and evening. So but the thing is, the thing that you learned when you learned to brush your teeth and you learned to do it twice a day, every single day, at first it wasn't automated knowledge. At first your mom had to remind you about it, and you actually had to think about it. Oh, how do I do it? How do I put the paste on and stuff like that, right? It's a bad example, but some things like when you're grown up, like shaving, right? You learned how to shave. At first you had to really think about it so that you don't cut yourself. And now you're doing it kind of automatically. So this happens with everything. Once you change, at first it's kind of hard because you need to think about what you're doing every single time you're doing it, right?
Actually, it depends on how big the thing that you need to learn. Then it will become automated.
I think almost everything can become automated. Like you would be surprised, how many things I've learned only in the past 3 years, and then now some of them are kind of automated now. I don't even have to think about it. I'm just talking, right? And the same like.
You just need a system to follow.
Sorry?
A system to follow, a routine.
Yeah,
And a routine is like a bunch of habits.
Yeah. But also, in your case, you don't even need to change that much. You're just changing what you put in your teapot. That's it. It's not daunting. It's just one thing that you are changing, one thing at a time. And instead of eating like 1 tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of lentils, just eat 6, right?
I know where you're coming from. You're coming from that you don't have to change like overnight because you will get burnout, and burnout is bad for you.
I mean, I've done both. It doesn't actually burn out that much, right? So even when I went vegan, right, which is a huge deal, it's like changing everything, basically, right? Kind of, not really. But it took me about 2 weeks because I did it without resources. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know about Challenge 22. Veganuary didn't exist yet. Yeah, I just went, but today all of those things exist, so it's not a problem for most people today. But when I went vegan, I was like completely isolated. I didn't even have like close friends who were vegan. I absolutely did not know what to do. And for the first 2 weeks, I even thought that like bread is not vegan somehow for some reason. I thought all bread has eggs in it or dairy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Martin, I have a suggestion.
Yeah, so for the first like 2 weeks, it was daunting. But then it became stupid simple, for real. 2 weeks, it's all it took for me to get my stuff together and to get some lentils, to get some chickpeas. I didn't get tofu for the first few years after going vegan, but like chickpeas and lentils, I got all that stuff. And, just started like Googling about what things I can put in like a stew or a soup or this dish or that dish instead of the animal products. And it became incredibly easy. Today I don't even have to think about it, and it's been like this for ages, for literal years. I have not thought about being vegan. It haven't been like this burden. It's been incredibly easy. And I've quit smoking, for instance, and I did it I quit smoking overnight, but then I also had like an electronic cigarette, So I didn't quit nicotine, but I quit smoking cigarettes overnight, and just replaced it with the e-cigarette, and then phased it out. That's it. And now I'm not a smoker anymore for the past 4 years, I think.
That's great. That's great to hear. Good for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So the only thing that somebody needs to change their life is to make the decision to change their life. That's it.
Post-mortem, I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
May I share?
Sure.
So my suggestion is that suppose I have to be vegan. So at least what can I do? I have my own struggle, but I can stop eating in front of my children. So at least I will make them as a vegan. So because the children learn from their parents, so at least they will become vegan. And suppose I'm struggling, so I can take my time and I can eat outside of my house. Suppose I have to eat and then later I can manage myself.
Sorry, why? I didn't really understand. Why can't you eat in front of your children?
Suppose I have to become vegan.
Yeah.
So I'm trying, but after 1 week I feel like eating non-veg, something like that. So what can I do from the first day? I just stop cooking in the house any non-veg
Yeah.
food. So what this will do, the children they will become vegetarian because they don't have this kind of so hard habit. So what we will do, we will stop 2 persons to become vegan, and I can eat outside, and within 1 month, 2 months, I can stop myself. So this is also a good suggestion one can do.
Okay. You're suggesting removing yourself from the environment in which there are animal products so that you don't get tempted. I hope I understood correctly.
No, is any other one who understood my point? I'm just saying
Sorry.
that when parents eat non-veg, their children start to eat non-veg. This is the base. Okay, so what can we do if parents don't want to eat non-veg? So what can they do? They at least make their children vegetarian by not cooking any non-veg
So you
food in
want
their
to-
house.
So you want to convert your, let's say, your children into a vegan diet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. And sorry, I'm just not understanding the problem. The problem is, how do you feed your children on a vegan diet? Is that it?
Suppose there is a family, the whole family is eating non-veg. This is a scenario. So the children, they are just following their parents, and the parents eating non-veg, the children also eating non-veg.
Yeah.
So if the parents, whose name is John, so he don't want to eat non-veg in his future life. So what he will do? He will do that he stop cooking non-veg in his kitchen. So the children would not eat, they will become vegetarian from the first day, and after few days he can handle himself that he would not eat non-veg. So that I'm saying.
I'm still incredibly confused. Let's just drop it, I think. Let's
Is
just
there
drop it.
anybody other person here who got my point, who can repeat my point?
I mean, I understood every word of it. I understood every word of what you said, but the point really escapes me.
Okay, last time I'm taking 10
No,
seconds.
no, please don't. Maybe you can. Sorry. Maybe you can write it down. Maybe you can write it down in the chat, and I'll read it. Okay.
10 seconds. Your children are vegetarian or non-vegetarian?
I don't have children, but if I had children, they would be vegan.
Okay, so that's I'm saying because suppose you have you would have 2 children and you were non-vegetarian. So your children would have be non-vegetarian.
If if my children were like little when I was not vegan, yeah, my children would follow my diet. Like if I went vegan when my children are grown-ups, right, then I wouldn't have I wouldn't be able to make them, right? I could only explain to them why I'm vegan, why I'm making the change, and it would be a decision in their hands, right? Because at some point, children are capable of reasoning, and they can, you're just gonna have to trust that you raise them in a way that makes them receptive to your ideas, and then they make their own choice. But if I went vegan and then had children, my children would grow up on at least a plant-based diet with the education that harming animals is not justified and they shouldn't do it.
So my suggestion that suppose we are not forcing the children, we can just make them understand that why I am vegan and why we are having this diet because this reason.
Yeah,
So
that's
we
what
are
I
not
said.
forcing them. And
I
if
mean,
you say no,
the
if
omnivorous
you say
parents,
hold
listen,
all the children,
I understood the point now. The omnivorous parents feed their children omnivorous diet despite all children, like if you put an animal in front of them, they don't want to kill that animal. They want to pet them, right? Usually, right? Unless that child is a psychopath and then they're like killing children and enjoying it and experimenting all that stuff, right? But generally speaking, omnivorous parents make their children, they force their children to eat animal products without the children even knowing about it sometimes. A lot of times children don't even understand that what they're eating is a dead animal. That's forcing as well. So I don't know why you why you are so adamant on vegans not forcing, quote unquote, their diet on their children when omnivorous parents do the same. Even
no,
worse,
I'm
because...
Suppose, so just 10 seconds. Suppose I'm a parent and I have 3 children, 4 children, 10 children. What I'm just bringing in my house, they are just eating them naturally. They are not thinking, why are you not bringing, there is a vegetable, there is some kind of animal. They don't think. They just eat whatever I serve them.
Exactly. So you're
I'm not
forcing your
making some
children
kind
to
of
eat. So you're forcing your children to eat animal products, and sometimes they don't even know that what they're eating is the creatures that they really love. Actually, yeah.
So it depends on the parent. It's parents' part. They have been dealing with their children. So if I don't serve them non-veg, it doesn't mean that I'm cheating them.
You're forcing them to eat animals, sometimes without them understanding what they're eating. Sorry, Val, go on.
Yeah, you're just indoctrinating with a certain type of ideology. I'm not even using the word indoctrination here in a negative way, but you're just training them an ideology, be it omnivorism or carnism or veganism or vegetarianism. Parents do this all the time. Your children are obviously in a very helpless state anyways. They're being influenced by the environment constantly. That's what children are, or babies, for that matter, even more. They just absorb environmental stimuli. Yeah, they're being shaped in the earlier stages of development. That's not rocket science. And I could just explain that in 20 seconds. I mean, you needed like 5 minutes apparently to convey this message.
I don't think he didn't understand.
That was very easy. I just told 1,000 times that if a parent stop eating non-veg in front of their children, their children, suppose they are minors, they will stop eating non-veg. That's the simple. What kind of rocket science in this? If you were not getting my idea.
Okay.
Can we maybe just drop this now, because we all know that people, be their children or adults, that they are usually inclined to copy others' behaviors. Yes, we know that already. We are humans, right?
All right. Somebody else. Anybody else, for the love of God. Leo, what's up?
If someone will give me, if they can answer this question real quick, I'd say if your mother's phone number was equal to the amount of money you had, how much money would you have?
Let's not do this in here. This is a vegan room. This is a vegan advocacy room. You can ask that question anywhere else, unless it pertains to veganism somehow.
What if the mother was vegan? Would she,
Come on. Can you ask it anywhere else? You want to talk about veganism, though? Let's talk about veganism.
I remember back in the day, people used to do Veganuary,
They still do?
To be vegan for January.
They still do. It's going strong. Every year, more and more people sign up.
Oh.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Last time I saw it was 2018. Well, I saw someone doing it that I knew personally.
Sorry, you saw somebody doing it and what?
The last time I saw someone doing it personally was
Yeah. Well, that's why
They
it's a really
that.
like a bad idea to only to judge your worldview, right? To create your worldview around only the things that you know and see, because there are a lot of things that you don't know, don't see, and are not exposed to. So, you know, Veganuary is going strong every year. More and more people sign up. So just the fact that you don't know anybody that signed up to Veganuary in the past few years doesn't mean that Veganuary isn't happening. That's how you create reality that is not true.
Okay.
Okay. What do you think about animal abuse?
Obviously, it's bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know.
Why is it bad?
Because, like, it just is, you know? Because, like, you know, if I was born, I would want to get, you know, just because of what I am, I don't want to get abused, you know, easily. I just want to live my life, you know?
Yeah. Are you vegan?
No.
Why not? Sounds like you're against animal abuse, right?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Why aren't you applying it to your actions?
You know, I just like the way they taste, to be honest.
Yeah. Do you think that's a good justification to exploit and kill somebody or to abuse them or to harm them?
Why not? Well, technically, if you think about it, right, I don't think food should go to waste. And now...
No, that's changing the subject. Can you answer my question, though? Can you answer my question? I asked you, is it good justification if you like the way their corpses taste or their exploitation products taste? Do you think it's a good justification for exploiting and slaughtering animals?
I wouldn't say exploiting them, but, you know...
Sorry?
You know, it's good. I would say exploiting them and stuff like that, you know, if we could do it in a more humane way, but, you know...
What do you mean? How do you do a humane exploitation?
Well, maybe not exploitation, but, you know...
How do you do a humane slaughter? How do you kill somebody? How do you run the knife across their throat if that animal doesn't want to die? How do you do that? How is that humane?
To be honest, nobody wants to die, but, you know...
Exactly. So you don't want to die, right? The fact, do you want to die?
Well, not yet.
Okay. Is it okay for me to, like, slit your throat right now?
No.
No. Why are you paying for animals to have this done to them then? Isn't that like the ultimate abuse? To cut somebody's life so short that, like, they're literally sometimes babies.
I don't know, who would kill like a baby chicken, bro? There's like barely any chicken left, you know?
I mean, the chickens that you eat, so the chickens that you eat, they're like 40 to 60 days old.
How long do chickens live? I'm gonna Google that real quick.
Yeah. Google chicken lifespan, natural lifespan, something like that.
Chicken natural lifespan. 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, and we kill them at 60 days old, and that's if they're lucky or unlucky, I'm not even sure.
So do you believe we should just have like a rule, you know, where we flip, like, you know, flip the coin? Like by the time the chicken gets older, you know, that's when we kill it, you know?
No, I think like if you get older, if you get to 60, I don't think it's okay to kill you, right?
Yeah, but like, you know, I don't taste good, you know?
I wouldn't. That doesn't matter. I could like derive other utility or other pleasure from it, right? All you derive from animals being slaughtered is taste pleasure and nutrients that you can get somewhere else, right?
And protein, you know?
Yeah, you can get protein from plants.
Yeah, but like not as much, you know?
Yeah, as much. So,
you know, like,
can I tell you a few...
what helps us as humans evolve is able to cook our meat, you know, and eat it.
Yeah, but also we like developed to create technology and stuff, and there are some technologies that exist for thousands of years that have like a lot of plant protein, like for instance tofu and tempeh and seitan. All of those things are like ancient technologies from thousands of years ago, and they have like a huge amount of plant protein, very comparable to the animal counterparts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, I've had some plant stuff, but it doesn't hit as much as chicken, you know?
There you go. So we're back to taste pleasure. So is it okay for me to kill you now if I'm derive some kind of a pleasure from it?
It might not be okay, but like you can still do it, you know?
Well, here's the thing, right? I'm asking a moral question. Would it be like morally okay?
I wouldn't say so.
Yeah. So why is it okay for animals?
To be honest, you know, it might sound a bit weird, but you know, I think we're better than animals, to be honest.
Yeah, well, we can be better than somebody, but also not slaughter them.
Yeah,
I don't think that's a good justification for
better.
slaughter, right?
I think we're better into the point that, you know, we matter more, you know?
Sorry,
Like-
we are what?
We matter more.
Okay, well, again, somebody can matter more. Like my mom matters more to me than you, but it doesn't mean that it's okay for me to slaughter you, right?
Yeah, but like, I think I don't even know. I think you matter more than any animal on this planet.
Yeah, for sure. So if there was like a situation where you could save me or you could save a chicken, I think you should save me. But that's not the situation we're in. You can just save both. You can just like not kill either. You can have not me not be killed, and you can have a chicken not be killed, right? So there's a third option.
But it's the circle of life.
Yeah, Circle of Life is a song by Elton John, and it means nothing in the 21st century for humans. We have like store chains. We don't have a circle of life specifically because we also prolong our life like a lot. The circle of life, if you want to consider a circle of life, you can just exclude animals from the circle and just have like plants, human kind of a circle, right? This is an option that exists for you.
What's the difference between like killing a plant and eating that and like an animal?
Yeah, so I would say it's sentience. Let me ask you a question to explain what sentience is. If there is like a burning building and there is a dog and a plant in there, like let's say a cactus, you can only save one, and you of course are not going to be harmed in any kind of way. Which one would you save, the dog or the plant?
The dog.
Yeah, why?
Because I think the dog matters more.
Exactly. So this is the option that exists for you. So you can choose to kill plants over killing animals because animals matter more than plants.
Yeah, but I don't think they matter that much.
Well, you know, if we go down that rabbit hole, again, I would ask, why shouldn't I kill you then when my mother matters more than you?
Well, you could. I think that's fair, to be honest.
Would you say it's immoral? It's moral?
It might be immoral, but say if
Exactly.
I was doing something.
So please tell me. So please tell me, how is it moral to kill animals when you don't have to? When you can just kill plants instead?
Again, I don't really care.
Well, that's yeah, that's the end of the conversation, unfortunately, because I don't care justifies any atrocity. Jews to gas chambers, I don't care. Dogs being slaughtered in the streets, I don't care. Right?
Animals, you know what I'm trying to say.
People being homicided, I don't care. Sorry, Felix, you're...
What's so special about humans that if you remove that special thing would justify abusing and genociding and enslaving humans? What's so special?
We can make an iPhone, to be fair.
Oh, wait. Not everyone.
Oh, to be fair, but okay. But, you know, some humans can make an iPhone and no animal can.
Okay, but so this means that we should still disable people?
No.
Well, that's his question, though. The fact his question is, what traits do animals lack and all humans have that if removed from humans, it would be okay to treat humans like the way we treat animals, right? So you said we can bullshit or something, right? I didn't really understand what you meant by it. And then Felix says, well, some humans can't. So he removed that trait from humans, and yet you don't agree to kill those humans.
Well, they haven't done anything wrong. They don't taste good either, you know?
Well, that doesn't...
Wait, hold on. It's okay to kill disabled people if they taste good. Holy shit.
I never said that. I said they didn't do anything wrong.
I mean, animals didn't do anything wrong. Chickens didn't do anything wrong, right? Animals didn't do anything wrong.
Huh?
Animals also didn't do anything wrong.
But animals taste good.
Well, again, you are now just justifying a bunch of stuff with a pleasure.
Well, to be fair, I wouldn't kill like a squid. I don't like squids, you know, to be fair. So like.
Oh, why not?
Wait, hold on. It's okay to kill someone who you are okay with killing. So if I don't like Jewish people, it's okay to kill Jewish people?
I don't think it's okay to kill Jewish people. But then, you know,
Why not?
There's some crazy extremist people who do think it's okay to kill Jewish
So
people.
listen, hold on. Selig, let me fix something. 1 second. Let me explain to you what this conversation is. You keep pushing into, well, somebody can do it, right? If they're strong enough, if they're stupid enough, if they're a bunch of stuff, right? This is not the conversation we're having. We know that people can do fucked up stuff. We are having a conversation about morality, of whether we should, even though we can, is the question, always, okay? So don't run into, well, some people can kill Jews, blah, 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 blah. Don't go there. We're asking, is it moral to kill Jews? Always. This is a conversation about morality.
Of course it's not moral to kill Jews.
Exactly. So your justifications fall flat.
Humans, and then animals are not humans.
What is it about a human that makes it so special that you can't kill a human, but you can kill an animal?
Because they're us. If I was an animal, if I was a dog, right?
Yeah.
I'd think every dog life matters more than a human life.
Okay,
Yeah.
but no, hold on. So again, there you go again to try to create a dichotomy as if it's a matter of killing an animal or killing a human, when it's a trichotomy. You can kill neither.
Okay. But you know, since as a dog, I don't care about human lives, I might eat a human, you know?
Saving your kind.
So let me ask you, if you find out tomorrow that black people are kind of not our kind, they have like a different DNA, they're not really human, would it be okay to enslave and slaughter black people?
Of course not.
Oh, why not? They're not us though. They're not us.
They are. Black people are.
No, I'm asking, if tomorrow you find out that they are not like us, right? They are, have slightly different DNA and they're not human.
So what do you mean by that?
Well, they're like some kind of an alien that was planted on here, and they have like a different DNA, but very similar intelligence and stuff like that.
Nah, I don't think it's fair to kill them.
So the justification, they are human though, is not the right justification, is not the thing that is a symmetry breaker between a human and an animal that makes it not okay to kill a human, but okay to kill an animal. So what is that difference then?
They're still, you know, they're still like similar to us, you know, at that point.
Similar in what way?
Just most ways, the fact that we couldn't tell, we had to do some extra BS.
Can you name some of those ways?
Huh?
Can you name some of those ways in which the hypothetical black people, alien black people, are the same as us, as humans?
To make hybrid babies that can make more babies, you know?
So, well, animals can make babies, so that doesn't sound like a symmetry breaker.
I said hybrid babies. They're similar enough that you can make hybrid babies, you know?
Oh, so you can fuck them.
Huh?
Wait. So the argument is, if you cannot make a baby with a black person, we should kill the black people. Okay.
Well, if you can't make, listen, if you can't make a baby with any animal, I'm not saying you should kill the animal, okay?
Yeah. So if those black alien people who are like us, kind of, but they are not human, and we can't, and we
really weird
hold
for
on,
you to say, oh,
hold on,
this black
hold
bro,
on,
it sounds so
hold
weird.
on, hold on.
It just sounds so
You
weird.
are filibustering.
Do you
Hold
not
on.
understand? Do you not understand, bro? Do you not understand? It sounds like 18th century race science, you know?
No. I'm asking. You are the. Listen. I'm asking you a question.
What,
right?
3/5 of the man and everything, you know?
No. They're not. They're actually smarter than us. They are aliens in this scenario. But they are very similar to us. But we can't fuck them and create babies. Would you say that it's okay to like
let's say
slaughter
it's an
them for food?
alien, then yeah, if it's an alien, yeah.
So it's going to be okay to slaughter black people for food in this case.
Listen. Let's just pretend, this is not safe because it just sounds so weird. It just sounds completely weird when you say it like that. Black people, blah, blah. Let's say, because when you say that, you know, it just sounds like 18th century race science.
Can I just quickly say something? Like, you are the one who's defending racism in this case.
Yep.
How?
Because you're saying that. Yeah, no, go on, Felix.
No, I'm kind of busy with like shopping stuff.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a racism. It's called speciesism. You're saying, well, animals are not human, therefore it's okay to slaughter them en masse for food that we don't need, just for taste pleasure, right? So I'm trying to give you a scenario. Hold on. I'm trying to give you a scenario where there is a being. Let's leave the black people outside. It's just an alien who looks like us. They're kind of like as smart as us, but they're not human. Would it be okay to slaughter them for burgers?
Again. Wait. Again, this is like basically what I said before, you know, we could make, you know, hybrid babies. And
Can you please answer the fucking question? No, you can't have a babies with the aliens.
Okay. Yeah.
You see, every trait that you give us, it falls apart. So maybe like stop laughing and go, okay, and actually think about it for a second. How about that?
I said we can slaughter them.
Oh, we can slaughter intelligent aliens. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a human supremacist myself.
Yeah, there you go. So you're a racist. Right?
How am I racist?
A speciesist. It's the same as racism. It's like discrimination based on arbitrary traits.
Species?
Yeah.
Then yeah.
Hold on. I quickly want to say, or quickly also point out that as soon, like, if you learn today that black people have a different species, you could be full on like, okay, let's gas the black people, let's fucking rape them, let's do all of it.
Yeah.
You'll be in favor.
Yeah, so you're the racist.
Huh?
Yeah, you're the racist.
How am I racist?
I just fucking explained it to you, and Felix also just fucking explained it to you.
Matter more and everything. And then you're like saying, oh, yeah, you hate black people. You know, I think that's
No, so let me explain it to you. You are unfairly and arbitrarily discriminating against certain individuals based on, well, as I said, arbitrary traits that can't be justified. So you're drawing a line somewhere arbitrary and say, this is basically us versus them. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, that's racism.
Well, it's not versus, bro, because I can't lie, they can't really do anything about it, but
of course you can.
That is irrelevant. That is whether they can protest or not. Hold on. Whether they can protest or not, is that what you're saying? That is irrelevant.
I never said that. I mean, like, basically, I think with so much, like, better, you know, they can't, like, if there's, like, a massive war between animals and humans, bro.
But you are actually, let me actually tell you, you are not better if you're killing them merciless.
Well, yeah, I don't hunt, so it's not me. I just go to the supermarket.
Yeah, but you're paying for it. You're complicit. You're paying these industries. I mean, the moment you go to the supermarket, right, and you're purchasing an animal item, right, full of suffering, you are actually incentivizing these industries to continue what they're doing.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't listen. If all of a sudden it got more expensive and they took care of them, blah blah, it's fine. But like, you know, I still have to eat animals. You know?
No, can you please engage with the argument that I just laid out? Like, do you
if I'm incentivizing them, you know, obviously that might be a little bit wrong, but you know, I'm willing to, you know, take it.
No, it is actually very much wrong, actually, because your actions actually cumulative. You're doing these actions like multiple times per month.
Yeah,
that is huge. Yes, that is huge. It's a huge thing. It's not like a minor thing. And the thing is, it's even worse because it's normalized. People don't. This is actually the danger because people don't even see what is going on because everyone is doing it. That makes it even worse. It's like under social duress, basically, right?
What do you think we should stop eating animals until they can like just generate them? You know?
Hold on. Yeah, the first part. Yeah, the first part I agree. Yes, I think we should stop altogether using animals for our enjoyment in all sorts of forms, as far as is practically possible. But with the thing is, the second part about generation, I'm not sure what you mean, but obviously, if you from now on you're stopping the purchases of animal products, the creation of more beings will reduce.
Also, I've heard a while.
So they won't. So they won't overpopulate at all because the less animal products you're consuming, the less will be generated, quote unquote, into existence.
I never said that that they're going to overpopulate anything. That wasn't part of my question. Yeah, I was saying
that's one of them.
If we could basically really print an animal and eat it.
Yeah, so I think I have, in principle, depends. So in principle, I have nothing against it, but if they are sentient, I have something against it. There you go. Yeah, so actually I would the thing is you could still make like some sentimental arguments, but if they have like no interests, right? If they're like non-sentient, then by definition I don't care. But obviously it would be very counterintuitive to create like a cow that is non-sentient because all we know in our current experience are sentient cows.
It's not possible really without like what we're trying to do with lab meat is kind of like non-sentient animal cells, but you can't like raise a cow that is not sentient. That's just biologically not going to work.
Wait, I want to quick. Do you think we should stop animals from killing other animals?
I think so, yeah.
We're kind of already doing that with dogs. Like if you have a dog running after a cat and he's on the leash, you would prevent it from literally destroying a cat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if we have the means to do it, then we should. But some animals need to do it to survive. But we are not really in a survival situation in the middle of a Saharan desert or something, right? If we have the means to stop
some animals, you can just generate. I said they make lab-grown meat still. You give the animal the meat instead, you know?
Yeah, that's my idea. I think so.
So you believe all killing of every species, even them bloody mosquitoes, you should keep killing them?
Yeah.
I think there is definitely a level we have to look into like what is possible and practical. For example, if we have animals in sanctuaries, let's say there's a tiger with a broken leg, we can help the tiger with a broken leg by taking it into a place to heal it and also feed it with like lab-grown meat. I think it's good.
Alright, but the mosquitoes, should we keep killing them?
I don't really know much about like how mosquitoes work in terms of the environment, so I can't really comment on that.
And maybe
they just fly about in it and bite you and give you malaria.
There is an actual like reason why mosquitoes are there, and it's to control certain like levels of species. So there isn't too many of them. But in terms of like,
they control enough. Well, not doing too well, but
But in terms of what we should do, then I don't know.
Yeah, so some things can't really be fixed, right? Maybe not, right? So some things we don't have a solution. All we can do is point out, well, that's kind of sucks. That's bad. That's immoral, right? But other things we can fix. We can fix our own consumption of food and stuff. We can avoid paying for the exploitation and slaughter of animals and kill plants instead. Put plants in our circle of life instead. So that's what we should focus on.
But then what if all of a sudden, say if this happens, blah, 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 we all stop eating animals, blah, 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 animals stop eating animals. Now, it comes to the point where it's like, what are you going to call these people? I don't know what you're going to call them. But, anti-plant eating activists, When's that happens, then
Well, that shouldn't happen because plants are not sentient and they can never become sentient. On a cellular level, plants are incapable of experiencing life and feeling pain and joy and all that stuff. So that's never going to happen.
Are you sure?
If it, yeah. I'm absolutely sure, and I can show you the paper that like definitively debunks plant sentience on the cellular level. So the cells are not possible creating sentience. They're not capable of it.
So if you use painkiller to animals, is it working?
Well, no, it's the experience, not just the pain. Pain is just part of sentience. It's the experience that animals have that creates sentience. And it's not okay to take that sentience away from them.
Error, right?
Sorry?
It's hard to stop eating animals. We're doing this for a billion years, probably.
Yeah, but now we can stop.
In human history.
I mean, we've been like raping and killing each other for billions of years, and then we kind of decided, well, it's immoral, so we're gonna stop, at least most of us, and people who are still rapists are kind of frowned upon because they're immoral.
Not eating, you know.
Well, it's the same thing. Now we have the ability to stop. Even though we've been doing it for a long time.
It's happening for more, but eating? I don't think so.
Sorry, can you repeat that, Carlos?
Yeah, I mean, killing is not the same as eating, you know?
I'm not sure why not. Both are immoral. Like, if you're killing animals for unnecessary food, that's killing. And both are immoral. Killing each other and killing animals is immoral for the same reason, because they're sentient. And if you can avoid doing so, you should.
So this all based on moral, then?
Sorry?
This all based on moral, then?
Well, yeah, it's a morality question.
By definition, yeah. Which is why we are debating here, your worldview against our worldview.
Yeah.
Do you believe that the best thing for everybody is to basically like genetically engineer every animal on Earth?
Well, not necessarily genetically engineering.
From the sun or something, you know, because they're not killing anything there.
Well, not necessarily. Well, yeah. Yeah, you can stop filibustering, please. So not necessarily genetically, like it's one like way to do it, I guess, but it's like way too interventional, right? Then some individual animals would have to suffer for that, like for the study, for the trial, for the experiment. There are other ways. You can just like feed them and give them contraception, some contraception, right? At least to like really reduce the amount of offspring they can have. You can kind of slowly guide their evolution towards plant eating or towards like corpse eating, just like scavenging. You can do stuff like that. You don't have to go to the extremes of like interfering in the most destructive way.
Wait, so can we still eat animals if they're dead before we get there?
Again, if you find the corpse, I've answered this question already. If you find the corpse in the middle of a fucking, I don't know, like autostrad, right, in the middle of a street, you didn't kill them, you didn't mean to exploit them. Yeah, you can drop on your knees and eat that corpse if you want. I think it's weird. I think it's like dangerous to you, but that's your prerogative, right?
Let's back to the sentience. If the sentience is standard for moral consideration, where do we draw the line and why?
In sentience. The sentience is the moral line. For instance, I'll give you an example, Carlos. There are some animals who there is just absolutely no way that they are sentient. So I don't think we should give them a moral consideration for them. We might want them to remain in an ecosystem for some reason or whatever. But like if I could push a button and replace all sentient animals with non-sentient animals in food production, I would push that button without thinking.
How about insects, bacteria?
Yeah, so bacteria are not animals. Hold on. Bacteria are not animals, they are not sentient. Insects, there's a question mark there. Some of them probably are sentient, others probably are not sentient. We don't have an answer for that. So if it's possible to like not kill insects, I think we should, right? So just like not stepping on ants, trying to like put nets on your windows to prevent like mosquitoes and stuff like that from coming into your house. So like just prevention just in case they are sentient, right? But bacteria, we can exploit and kill them, and in fact, I think that's the future of food production, bacteria.
Well,
Or
you
they
know,
eat bacteria or
insects,
something.
bees, or ants, they show the complex behavior and
Sorry?
react to danger. Should we protect them in the same way?
Sorry, excuse me?
I mean, what about the insect, bees or ants? They show the complex behavior and react to the danger. Should we
Well,
protect
complex
them in the same
behavior
way?
doesn't necessarily mean sentience, but again, we just don't know. It's just like a question mark there. But if they are sentient, yeah, we should like, if we can, we should avoid killing them. It's the same as with humans, right? If you have absolutely no choice, if somebody is attacking you, it's morally justifiable to kill them. But like, if they're just like leaving you alone, they're just like just walking around, you can't take a rifle and start shooting people. So just do the same for animals. If you can avoid killing them, do it. If you can't avoid killing them, then don't, you know, fuck. It's terrible, terrible thing that happens.
Oh,
I have
wait.
a question.
Wait. You said like if they're like dead, it's fair to eat them. But like, again, in the supermarket, they're already dead as well. I didn't kill them myself.
You're giving money to the farmer to do it to the next animal. So you are paying for exploitation and slaughter of the next animal.
Okay, but then what if I steal it? Is that fair then?
So,
Yeah, so
you know what?
probably
If you like really don't want to change your mind at all, you can dumpster dive. Dumpster diving is the most ethical way to eat meat right now, I think.
Is stealing it fair?
No, still another animal would be killed even though you don't give them money for it.
There's also
Exactly, but
Hold on,
I didn't do it
hold on.
myself. I'm not giving him. I'm making him actually.
Felix is trying to tell you something. Can you stop filibustering though?
The stores actually have insurance on stolen goods, right? If you steal enough stuff, they'll get monies back, so
Yeah.
they can refill it. So by stealing, you're also kind of like contributing to it as well.
Yeah, but then the premiums would go up, and then their business, their business might go out of business.
Yeah, so the same amount of money would go to the farmer to kill the next animal.
So then what you're saying is there's nothing I can do.
Well,
to
you can
stop,
go vegan. You can go vegan.
Huh?
You
Well,
can
then
go
still
vegan.
kill the animal.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
let's
another
go-
option. Hold on. You can go vegan.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I got even better option, right? You know when restaurants throw out food scraps?
I just said that. You can go dumpster diving. You can go dumpster diving if you're
Well,
like
that's not an
really,
option.
for some reason, like really keen on eating like flesh. You can go just like into a dumpster behind the restaurant and get the
My whole
scraps.
point is that basically,
Actually, this
the
is a very
animal's
good
probably-
rebuttal.
I didn't
This
kill
is a-
it, and then that's fair. And then
This is actually a very good rebuttal to the wild animal dead carcass argument. Actually, this is actually much more feasible to
Yeah.
just go to a supermarket and a dumpster. I mean, that's much better actually. Like,
Yeah, it's good for the environment. It's kind of still fucked up, like animal-wise, but like you're not contributing to it through the chain of demand.
Also, so say like, wait, what if, right, listen, so say if like this store's kind of shit, no one goes there, right? So like, basically you just have like surplus stock, and I can just walk in and take it.
Look, there are actual places in UK, because I can hear the UK accent. When you go to, let's say, fast food chains, you can say, hey guys, like, since you're closing at 10 p.m., can I have any scraps that you guys have? That's also a possibility.
Okay,
But always,
then so it's
but
still
always
fair, I can
saying-
still eat it then, yeah? That's
always
basically
saying it's right now, don't eat any animals, and just look for ways like this to consume animals if you really, really want to.
I don't know why I want to though. That just sounds
obviously-
fancy. Sorry,
yeah,
go on.
obviously, if we extrapolate a bit more, like constant. I mean, if you are vegan, right, and if you are, because at this point, I mean, I don't think that you have been convinced at all. I mean, you're just trying to find like some loopholes and just like some excuses to still eat meat. The only issue I have is that like the public perception, really. So if you constantly eat meat and you're still advocating for animal rights, people will probably like not take you as credible, perhaps. And also the other thing is, although not probably so important, but like your character development. I mean, you're still viewing these kind of foods as like these kind of like body parts foods, basically. I mean, I don't have like any huge objections against it, but like your public credibility is probably like lower, I guess. But yeah, I'm not sure how compelling that argument is, but yeah.
I'm not a public ban, so I don't think that matters too much.
Yeah, but
I mean,
Yeah, but
every
I think-
person ever said that, right? Like when we used to own slaves, people like, oh, I'm just one person. I don't matter that much.
I'm not a public person, okay?
Well, it doesn't
That's what I
matter
said.
if you're a public person. Every person should take responsibility for
If
their
you were
actions
saying- you
if
were
they're not
saying-
public.
If you're trying to say that, oh, if you were around in what's they call it, 1930s Germany, would you harbor? Yes, I would harbor Jews. Yeah, I think, you know.
Well, why aren't you doing the same before? Like in this case, both are immoral.
I
you
told you that you don't care.
Oh, you don't care. Okay, so we should stop talking to you then, I guess.
Oh,
You also beat like I just remembered you also beat the bullet on like killing sentient intelligent beings, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, so you should stop like inundating us with questions because you don't care, right? So I
No, I was just asking. I was just asking, like, if it would count, because you said the thing. If it would count, I still like morally, at least in your thing,
yeah,
morally
but
correct.
why are you asking? You don't
Like,
care. You okay with like paying for the
No, no, no.
slaughter of the cow, right?
Huh?
You okay with
Well-
paying for the slaughter of the cow, right?
Well, yeah. Well, technically, I don't pay.
No. Well,
Yeah.
you're giving the money to the supermarket. The supermarket gives the money to the butcher gives the money to the slaughterhouse gives the money to the farmer. That's how morality works. You trace your impact not just by where you put your thing, your money in this case, but also by what happens afterwards, right?
I'll ask you a question, like,
Or beforehand, actually.
The one more point was like, did you ethically source like your phone or your computer?
So my computer, no, I just bought the computer that was owned because it's like part of my job. It's not possible to ethically source computers. And I'm a video editor, so I needed a really strong one. My phone, yes, I checked the company. They're doing okay, I guess, in the modern society. As much as I could check, I checked.
Wow, people care about the purchases.
Oh. I also drink fair trade coffee, just, in case you were going there.
No, I wasn't gonna ask that, to be honest. I don't think
I don't know. So here's the thing. Here's the difference, though, the difference, like, between even if my phone was, like, the cheapest fucking phone on planet Earth, here's the difference between the two actions. First of all, it's incredibly much harder to find the information on how your phone is made. On the other hand, when you buy a slab of meat, you know that animal had to be killed for it. The other point is that phone production can be rehabilitated. In fact, that's what's happening right now. So more and more companies, like the company that I used, they recycle the old phones into their new phones, right? The parts that are like immoral, the cobalt, the gold, all that stuff. They recycle it into new phones so that don't have to like pay the slave, the children mining cobalt and all that stuff, right? So a phone production can be rehabilitated. Nothing like inherently immoral has to happen for a phone to exist. Children don't have to mine cobalt for a phone to exist, but animals do have to be slaughtered for a piece of meat in a supermarket to exist. That's the difference.
Do you think they ever put like,
So-
just like random animal that, got old and killed over, like a heart attack or something?
Oh my god, again, if you haven't killed them and haven't exploited them and you for some reason want to eat corpse, you can eat the fucking corpse. Can you stop asking the same fucking question over and over again?
This is technically a different question, right? It's a different question. This is like, not even like vegan or anti-vegan, whatever. This is a question like, in general, do you think they ever like put that animal on like the shelf? Huh?
No. So in animal agriculture, the meat in the supermarket, their death is planned the second they were born.
Oh, okay. Right.
So in other words, also to draw parallels with regards to human exploitative practices, right? So if you purchase, let's say, like a smartphone, right? We also have to draw some distinctions here because obviously the intensity and the frequency of these purchases are vastly different, I would presume, right? So I don't purchase like a smartphone every day. As a matter of fact, I probably like purchase smartphones maybe every 3 to 5 years, depending like of its like how do you say, like health or like condition. And yeah, the intensity is obviously also a bit different, right? So an animal always has to be killed and exploited, right? And in the human condition, as Postmortem said, yeah, it could be improved. Now, that doesn't mean that we approve of the conditions right now, of course, you know? I mean, you can still care and, try to change these systems. So yeah, frequency and intensity is also like a thing, right? Like how much do they suffer and how up do I purchase this kind of product?
Yeah.
And by the way, you can also purchase like second-hand products. I actually purchased my smartphone second-hand, and in this way, you're actually not increasing, I think, the supply and demand chain like strongly, I guess.
I guess maybe like, okay, so first of all, like, yeah, when I bought my computer, I knew it's going to be for the next 10 or 15 years. When I bought my phone, I know it's going to be for the next 4 or 5 years. That's the intensity part. But I think like if I prefer to buy like not first hand, but check as much as possible that like there is no like exploitation chain, which is really, really hard. But I think like buying second hand, it's like, it actually takes the phones away from the new phones, or like the recycling part, I think. So it actually could be better to buy a new phone and take care of it and keep it for like 5 years than buying a second-hand phone that already had like 3 or 4 years on it. It could go into circulation of being recycled. That would be probably better.
Just a waste of money.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Waste of money.
And by the way, I do wish that the supply chains were like clearer on any companies, because like literally don't even know what's in my computer was mined by a child, and there was absolutely no way to find out. It really fucks with my brain, frankly.
Yeah, probably you should boycott the electronic that made by the children in Congo.
Yeah, well, and then I die because that's part of my job.
Would you say it would be
more
more
than you can survive for it?
Yeah, if I don't have a strong computer, then I can't do my job. And then
What
I
if you
can't
change-
eat because I'm not going to receive money, right?
What if you change your profession?
I'm 45. I think
that's good.
changing profession is unrealistic at this point.
But you have a choice to do in that.
I don't think I do. If I like, again, I bought the computer and I'm gonna keep it as strong as possible for the next 10 years. You know, I'm gonna fix it if it's broken and not just buy a new one. But changing my profession is not a choice, frankly. At this point, I would gonna have to go study something for the next 4 years, and I'm gonna have to like start fresh from like minimum wage full-time
There's a lot
job.
of job that does not require higher education or something like that. You know, you still can survive. You can still eat. You know.
Yeah,
based on
sure,
your
but I
work,
already have the computer. I'm just going to use the computer that I already have. Like me discarding the computer wouldn't change anything at this point.
Come on, Poise, don't you want to work for minimum wage and barely have any time for yourself?
Oh, I really, really do, as if I didn't do that for like 15 years, just 15 years of my life.
And by the way, if you make these kind of suggestions, Carlos, I would expect that you're already vegan, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because I make a lot of effort and you make zero, so don't be a hypocrite.
Yeah, are you asking questions? Chill down.
I'm chill as fuck. I don't know why people keep commenting this specifically to me. I wonder why. Maybe because I sound like a woman.
I didn't say that, but
You didn't say that to Val, right? Oh, chill out, Val.
Who's Val?
Yeah, it's me. Sorry.
The buff guy, the shredded guy on the bottom, the vegan Chad on the bottom is Val.
On the bottom. Vegan on the bottom. No.
I'm a bottom. I'm a bottom.
No, for me on the screen, you are on the bottom of the screen. I'm sorry. Right next to me, so we're in the same place.
You're on the bottom.
I'm a bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Carlos, what about you, man? Just wanting to point out hypocrisy, or are you also trying to improve and be vegan at the very minimum?
No, I'm just kind of curious how you think about it, and yeah, that's the thing. I just open up the question, I know discussion. That's the thing. I choose my own way to eat meat, and you choose your own way to eat meat too. Okay? Not eating
Why?
meat. That's the thing.
What's your reason to eat meat?
That's good.
Okay, so it's okay to kill and abuse animals if it makes you feel good?
Sure.
Okay, so
They
if
can
it, makes me,
regenerate so far.
if, it,
So
if it makes me feel good to abuse my dog, I should abuse my dog, right?
I mean, why not?
What?
But did you eat the dog though? That's the question.
What does it matter?
No, hold up. Do you eat the dog after that abuse?
No,
Before
he's doing it
abusing?
for other pleasure. He's deriving pleasure from kicking dogs. Hypothetically,
Hey,
of
that's different,
course.
Yo, hold up. That's different.
How is that different? Oh,
We get something.
oh, it's for
Well, I
pleasure
get
though.
pleasure.
Eat it, right?
I get pleasure. That's something for me. That's pleasure.
Yeah.
That's different pleasure about it.
Why does pleasures matter all of a sudden? If you do it for pleasure and I do it for pleasure, we both do it for pleasure.
If you believe indirect harm is immoral, how do you justify participating in a global tag and build system of exploitation? You know.
What? I'm not sure what it is.
Is working on the stock market the most humane thing, you know? Because like,
Jesus fucking Christ. The
No,
fact.
let's not get derailed, please. No red herring. No net red herring. Let's keep it real to the topic. So, you think it's okay, basically, to use an animal, exploit the animal just for like some trivial? Well, I'm begging the question, but that just for some pleasures.
It's called a choice, dude.
A what?
What is it?
It's called a choice, then.
A choice.
See, exactly.
Oh, so if
Yeah,
I have
but
a choice, if I have a choice to rape my wife every day, that's okay because that's a good choice, right?
I don't say that's a good
obviously
choice,
not
but
a
that's
good
different
choice.
choice.
Okay.
Exactly.
you should
So
not rape your wife, bro. That
Oh,
is
they
not
said
a good
it's
choice.
a
Yep,
choice.
exactly.
Okay.
You have a choice. Hold up. You have the choice to eat a plant, and we have a choice to eat animals too. If you, if you draw a line based on moral things,
your
the moral doesn't
justification for
work
your
that way, you know.
Your justification for your choice is pleasure. So I could just say it's okay to rape my wife for pleasure, right? Both are done for pleasures. And now
How is
you're
it? How is
telling me
it? Hold up. How is it we draw the line between animals and human? Is it because
Humans are
intelligence? We have
animals.
more intelligence.
okay, so if I'm raping a disabled like woman, then it's okay because she's dumb as fuck.
Disabled is not intelligence.
Well, to
Different.
be fair,
There is
fair,
there is a
I want to say,
disability.
I want to say
Different
something real
intelligence.
quick. You shouldn't rape animals either, you know.
Oh, they're raped
yes,
for your
right.
pleasure, though. They're raped in the beef industry. They're raped in the dairy industry. They're raped in turkey.
What? So
Like
you're saying-
creating
you're saying
turkey
when I'm
meat is
buying-
they're
When
raped.
I'm buying
Yeah.
my milk, like
Yes,
the like
yes.
the beef
Yeah,
parts of
yeah,
the
yeah.
cow,
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
they
Do you
actually
want
fuck the cow. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
do you want a video of that?
Obviously, I don't want to see a
Actually,
video.
let me.
Okay,
Yeah,
why
go-
do you pay for it if you don't want to see it?
Huh?
Why do you?
Why do I want to watch bestiality, mate? That's just
Because
kind of
you
weird.
should know what you pay for.
Yeah. You should know
Yo,
how a
I
farmer
disagree.
rapes a cow for you to get
Hold
your
up.
milk or your beef. You should know that.
That's dairy industry.
Listen,
I
if
disagree
those
with that,
farmers are
okay? I'm
raping
with
all
you.
those people that came down to London the other day, you know, the tractors and shit, bro, all of them. Oh my lord, they're all
Do
fucking
you want a
crazy.
video or not? Because you keep complaining.
I don't want to see a video. Why do you keep...
Then why are you paying for it? Why are you paying for
Kind
it?
of weird, bro.
Why are you
You
paying
keep
for it?
pushing this
You're paying for
bestiality
weird
bullshit,
shit. You're paying for it.
Yeah, I understand. I didn't know.
The fat
I didn't
controller.
know.
You are.
So you're paying
I
for
think you're-
something that you think is immoral because you said, no, we shouldn't,
Yeah, rape is bad.
we
Rape
shouldn't
is bad.
rape animals, but you gladly pay for it. But then you don't want to
Yeah,
see
just-
it. You don't want to know about it. Yeah.
Wow.
I think rape is bad in
Yeah,
general.
I think. Yeah,
I think
the
that's like
fact
one
control-
line that you shouldn't do to anything.
Yeah, I think you're a grown adult, I would presume, right? And I would also presume that you have the choice just to pick like the fucking soy milk.
Whoa.
Just pick it, man. Just get the soy milk. What is so
I don't go
wrong
shopping
about
myself.
Yeah.
Well, not all the time. I don't go shopping
Soy
myself,
are
no.
not raped for soy milk.
If I went shopping, well, I do go shopping sometimes. If I went shopping and I brought back soy milk, bro, my dad would be like, "Are you fucking mad?" You know.
We don't care
So
about
what? Educate
You
them.
learn how to-
Educate your parents. Parents don't like to be educated, right? But do it anyways, right? Prove them wrong. Tell them what you've been telling me is wrong. You know? I know parents don't like that, you know? but they should, right? They think they know everything better, you know. But you should show them, and if they don't care, then let them be. You know, you don't have to look what other people are doing, basically, right?
Yeah, you can think for yourself.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
can think for myself. I'm saying, you know, I can't.
Don't be a sheep.
Again, I'm not. When I'm going shopping, I'm not gonna, you know, bring back something that no one's gonna eat or drink. You know,
You're gonna eat it and drink it. What the fuck?
You can buy things for yourself, not for others. What the hell?
Jesus Christ.
You know.
Yeah.
But this again derailed the
Alright,
conversation.
How about the farm that intent traditionally? You know, they farm the animal with the loaf and everything. Is it still a problem?
Yeah, of course, it's exploitation and murder.
How? The murder is a problem.
And the exploitation. I said
how is the
it's
farmer, they have no choice to
exploitation.
doing any kind of jobs.
It's exploitation and murder. Even if a bull fucks a cow because the farmer put them together because he wants the babies to kill them later, it's exploitation and murder.
I actually like hate it, like when my farmers who exploit children, like people want to stop them getting money.
Guys, I'll be right back. Be right back, chat.
If there is an individual who's exploiting other individuals, maybe they should stop exploiting other individuals. It's a crazy take, right? I
Yeah.
can't believe this.
Like, guys, imagine this, like two possible worlds, right? The one world is like the current world where animal exploitation is occurring, right? And then next to it, we have another possible world in which no animal exploitation is going on and no killing, right? What is the better one? A world in which there is like compassion towards animals, or a world in which there is like little to none compassion?
In the second
Which
world,
one?
can we still eat, like, you know, the food?
You can eat
No.
anything, but why would you want to eat animal? You
Yeah.
can eat plants.
That's it. You don't buy it. You just simply don't. You have been how do you say, like emancipated. You went beyond these shackles and these burdens and these fetters. You know.
Well, I can still
You
eat
let
plants
go.
and animals at the same time right now. You know what I'm trying
Why
to say?
would you want
And
to
wouldn't
eat
I be
animal?
more shackled if I just ate one thing?
Yeah. So
like
if
you
you
should start eating humans at this point to have more diversity in your diet.
Yeah,
You know?
so we have to be careful. So when you say shackled and when I say shackled, I mean something else, right? So you are saying that you're looking at the restriction that is now being imposed onto you. I'm telling you, you're sometimes choosing violence and sometimes no violence. Sometimes you choose to kill a plant and sometimes you choose to kill an animal. That's basically what you're then doing with your diet.
Oh,
Sometimes you kill.
plants.
Yeah, sometimes you kill a plant and sometimes you kill an animal.
Wait, so
And that's
are
wrong.
humans morally superior than animals in this regard?
You're superior in
What?
what way?
Are humans morally superior than other animals in this
Morally
regard?
superior.
Morally superior. If so, why should we be the one who decide what is more acceptable or no?
To talk
Yeah,
about
well, because
morality.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Say again?
No, I understand. I understand what you're trying to say. I'm just not sure if Val wants to respond to me.
No, you
No,
can,
if so,
you can go ahead.
like if human moral is superior than any other individual in this fucking world, why should we be the one who decided what is or what isn't acceptable?
We already did this with like disabled individuals. So, for example, if a disabled individual does not know what to do and does not know how to act, we make choices for them because we know that the choices prevent suffering.
Animal is not disabled.
No, I'm just saying, like, if we have a human who does not know right from
We're
wrong,
talking about animals, eh?
can I explain?
Sure. Go ahead.
If a human does not know what is good and what is bad, similar to how animals don't know what is good, what is bad, morally speaking, then we should make the choices for them because we know that the choices we can make for those individuals could prevent more suffering from happening. So, for example, if a 2-year-old toddler wants to drink bleach under my kitchen sink, I will prevent him, even though the baby's gonna cry, right? Because I know that there would be suffering if the baby drank the bleach. The same way how, you know, when it comes to animals in the wild, we could also prevent suffering. Because we know from our own, like, history, human history, and what can cause suffering. Which is something that no one wants.
So,
Should we stop humans from choosing what they eat? You know, because like you know, what if you like drank alcohol? You know, I don't.
If
People drink.
it
Isn't
causes,
obviously alcohol
if it
bad?
causes
Should we
suffering
stop
to others, yes. If it causes actual suffering to others, it should. But for example, if it's consensual suffering, let's say, I don't know, I bought some beers today, I'm gonna drink. I know that it increases the chances of me developing some kind of cancers, but I consent with it. Like I'm like okay. I'm like, you know, okay with it.
Would you let the baby drink bleach? You know, if the baby just wanted to drink bleach.
No.
And he was bad for it.
Were you even listening to what I said?
Jesus Christ,
Well,
for
we said
real.
it's consensual suffering, so the baby just wanted to drink bleach.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna ask you one last time.
You think babies can consent?
Hold on. I wanna ask you one last time to actually see if you are listening to me or not. Because if you're not, I can easily kick you. What did I say like 5 minutes ago?
You talk about like all consensual suffering and that, yeah?
No, that was after what I said about babies.
You said baby drank. You stopped the baby from drinking bleach. You know, it was bad.
What was the context of it?
It's a baby, yeah.
And what about it?
It was drinking bleach.
And what about it?
It was a baby.
Okay, you were not listening to me. So next time, if you're gonna interrupt with something irrelevant that I know that you were not listening to me, I'll just kick you from the channel for 24 hours. Okay? Let's not do that, please. So what I was talking about is the morality that wild animals don't know good from bad, and children don't know good and bad in terms of the action.
Alright, so you're saying if humans don't completely understand what is good or bad, we should avoid acting all right?
And not all the right. It's just things that would prevent suffering to those individuals. If someone wants to play with crayons, they pick up crayons and start drawing on the wall, there is really no suffering there. They just like do whatever the fuck, right? But if the bro starts to eat those crayons like popcorn, maybe we should prevent them.
No, I mean not all the right. I mean, we should avoid acting at all, right?
No,
That's
that's the opposite of what he said. He said we should protect them. We should do what is in their best interest, even though they might look like they don't like it. Because children can't consent and they can't think properly yet. So we should think of their best interest and make a decision for them.
Yeah. The children don't even understand. Well, the children don't understand because they haven't been educated about things. And while they're developing, we can educate them about basic things and then a bit more, complex
So you
things.
say like humans don't completely understand what is good or bad.
Yeah, children can literally put like their hand into an oven top while it's on full blast heat.
If we apply that logic to all human action, we'd never do anything. We couldn't even able to help.
No, that's not correct. That is not correct. All we are trying to say is, if you don't know, err on the side of caution. That's all we're saying. If you don't know whether you can get consent or not, be a bit cautious, right?
If uncertain make action immoral, should we stop all the progress and innovation because we can predict every outcome, even medicine or technology?
No, I'm not saying, no, you're changing the context because now you're saying, well, should we just be in our room and not risk anything? No, because we have multiple and competing interests in life, right? Presumably no humans wants to be locked inside their house and for this perceived benefit of reducing all harm, obviously, right? So you're changing the context here. We are just saying that the farmer. Hold on. We are just saying that the farmer should cease stopping his fist into the vagina of a cow to get some sort of benefit, because you don't know whether the cow, and I would presume that they don't like it, and since you don't have that information, we should heed caution.
Well, do you think we should arrest all the farmers? Because they're raping the cows and shit.
Should we kill all the farmers then?
I said arrest.
Well, that's a good question. So I do think that what they're doing is morally very reprehensible. That is for sure. Now, obviously, what they're doing, they're probably not doing it out of malice, right? But I do think that they need to be re-educated. I think. Yes. Yeah.
I can't like if you're raping cows, you know, that's not. You know, I think it's
You're
not.
paying for it. You're paying for it.
Yeah.
Stop paying for it.
Yeah.
Literally, it's not like farmers would continue pushing their hands into the cow anuses and vaginas and all that shit if you didn't want to buy their product. Stop buying their product, so you're gonna stop paying for the raping of cows.
Cow. Okay, I've been alive all these years, you know. No one told me they were fucking the cow.
But now you know.
They're literally fisting.
But let me be very clear here, right? Let me be very clear here. Or actually, I'm very curious. Because the thing is, whenever we mention this artificial insemination or rape thing, I think people are disgusted aesthetically. Do you actually care about the animal? Or do you just care about like the intuitive reaction that you're having, that it is gross?
Do you know what the rape is?
Yes.
Can you respond, please? Can you please respond?
Bad. It doesn't, regardless of how it looks, mate. It's just bad.
Rape is direct violation of individual autonomy. Autonomy that being something we gain as human beings. Compare the act of raping to a farmer eating animal is a full equivalence.
Wait, what? I mean, you are actually robbing the autonomy of the animal without their consent, right?
It's fun. It's not like that.
It is like that.
This is like saying if black people didn't have autonomy over their
I know
own
you're saying
bodies,
that,
then
well,
it
that's
would be
different
okay
context.
to
It's the right
sexually
thing.
violate
It's
them
not how
because
it works.
nobody's telling us no.
It's not like that. It's a race thing. It's different, completely different.
What's the trade difference?
Pleading.
What's
That's
the
like
trade?
special pleading.
Well, let Falak, please.
What's the trade
Taking human
difference?
rape case is emotional manipulation that cloud the religion.
Carlos.
What's the trade difference between a black
Are you
person
supporting
and a cow?
Carlos, let him talk.
Hey,
Carlos, let him talk for a second. You've been filibustering. Let Falak ask you a question.
No, a specific question. So what's the morally relevant trade difference between a black person and a cow that justifies raping one but not the other?
A black person is human. It's a race thing. It's
so
human is human too.
if we demonstrated that the black people actually can have a completely different DNA, not making them Homo sapiens, then by your logic it would be okay to rape them. Yes?
What'd you say again? What'd you say?
If we demonstrated that black people actually are not part of the Homo sapien gene, by your logic it would be okay to rape them.
Is this still human or no?
No.
DNA. Still human or no?
No.
No?
No. So would you be okay with raping those hypothetical black people?
Sure.
Jesus Christ! Holy fuck!
Shit!
Why don't you just say no? It's not fine. Let's be vegan now. Why do you go such a great length to defend your animal exploitation? What?
So many rapists in this VC. Holy fuck!
Jesus Christ, man.
Like, why? Like, they look like us, they just have, like, different genes. Like, don't you care about their suffering? What? What is wrong with you guys? This is like communism.
Hey, you guys, I said rape is bad. I said rape is bad, okay?
Yeah, but you're paying for it. Don't think you're any
no
better.
one told me they were fucking the cows, okay?
So would you
No,
stop?
like,
Would you
this
stop paying for
isn't
it?
common knowledge. No one told me that.
Wait.
Now
Basically,
you
every single
know.
time I like the fuck
Now
cows.
you fucking know. You know from now on. This is a knowledge that you have now. And now is the time to change your actions accordingly.
So
That's
would
bad
you?
chicken instead. I don't think they can fuck chicken.
Yeah. People should not have any action to do with other human too, you know? That's not how Maroto works.
Well, you're the one saying raping is fine if they're monkeys. Bro!
I don't say raping is fine. That's
Yeah,
not my
yeah, you did.
You did.
Just
You
did.
did. You
have
did.
like 5 people listening that you said you did. Holy shit! Oh.
You said it is fine. It is fine to sexually exploit like a particular set of human-esque being that just differs in certain types of like gene variations.
You say it's
That's
not
just
human
asinine.
though. Hold up.
I'm
You say
sorry,
it's not
that
human.
is asinine. That is asinine. I'm sorry.
Wait, hold up.
Just
You say it's not human.
Yeah, I said they
Yeah.
look
Yeah,
identical to humans but have different DNA.
Human-esque. Yeah, human-esque. They all look similar to us. Yeah.
Are they
Even
are they human or no? That's the question.
No.
All right, then why
Wait,
not?
would you rape everything that's
We should eat
non-human?
it too.
Are you saying you would rape anything that's non-human?
I don't say that.
But I'm asking, would you?
No.
So why do you pay for it? Why do you pay for people to rape animals for you?
I don't pay for people for raping animals. I
Oh,
eat
you
for
want-
the benefit of eating the animals.
Yeah, part of the process is raping the animal, so are you in favor of it?
Say again?
Part of the process of getting that meat onto the plate is to rape animals. Are you in favor of raping animals?
Should we kill drug dealer or should kill the buyer?
That's a
Which one is more
derail. Are
faulty?
you in favor of raping animals?
No, hold up. The question is.
That's a derail. Are you? It's yes. Are you yes or no? Are you in favor of raping animals for meat?
No, I don't say that.
Why do you pay for it?
Say again?
Why do you pay for it?
I'm gonna say again. I pay for the meat to come
Yeah.
to my house.
And the meat
Out of
is the
love for
consequences of raping animals.
Yeah, you're paying for the package. You can't just pick and choose. You're either fully on board with it or not. Right? Now here we go.
Yeah.
I'll
Here we go.
I'll get raped, you know.
Let's just move on from. Oh, there's nowhere to move on. There are only vegans here. All right. I guess we're just stuck with one person who says it's okay to rape animals and the other person who says it's not okay, but he's going to continue paying for it. So.
This is crazy.
What a crowd! Jesus.
Shit. By the way, guys, we are here to educate, to help you out if you are interested and if you want to be ex-animal sexual exploiters.
Yeah.
You're welcome. We are here. We are friendly. You know, you can change. It is possible. You're a human.
You can literally say a rape is bad and not pay for it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's not just yeah, it's not just rape, by the way. It's just like it's inherently an exploitation of animals' reproduction organs, right? So animals literally, even if they're not like anally raped by the farmer or like the way turkeys are impregnated, it's also very rapey. They're like put upside down. They have like the semen stuck into their vaginas, and the farmers literally have to like manipulate the clitoris of the turkey for this. It's really gross. Not like the clitoris, but there is like another mechanism there. But even if it's like a small farm that doesn't do that and they just put animals together just to fuck, then they exploit the fucking of the animals to create food. Then they then take the babies, grow them a little bit, and then slaughter them. It's all of it is fucking sick.
Alright, so if you're using the analogy of rape, are you prepared to apply that all industry built on exploitation? All of it?
Yeah, all animal agriculture is exploitation for sure, sexual exploitation. Even if there is no human to animal rape in it, even if it's just two animals fucking.
Labor, sweatshops, and conflict mineral, something like that too. Not just animal.
We can do both. Holy shit.
Why are we focusing on one then? Let's talk about it all.
Because people already understand that human rights issues is an issue, right?
And this is the vegan room, by the way. The proposition on the table is whether it is good or permissible to exploit animals. It's not about whether it's permissible to exploit humans, right? So let's focus on the topic. Right? We have a topic here to defend. Or you have to defend it, actually. Right? Whether it is okay to use and exploit animals when it's not necessary. That's the proposition.
Meat tastes so good. I love the taste.
Oh, you can be the brain dead person that went in here. Okay.
Chewing it.
Yeah.
It tastes so good.
That's amazing. Caditude, what's up? What's up? You wanna have a conversation or you wanna have a conversation?
You go by the throat and you literally slice it open and the blood comes out.
Thanks. I guess. We know more about how animals are produced than most humans on Earth. So we don't actually need this kind of education about how animals are slaughtered. We know it. Little
by the way,
Shy Girl,
then-
what's up?
Yeah. What's up? Okay, bye-bye.
It's a cute. Oh, they're gone. That's a shame. Very shy. Right. What shall we do? 2 rapists and 5 vegans in one room.
Yeah.
I'm not a
that's-
rapist.
Rape
I don't know, but-
apologists. I'm sorry. Rape apologists and rape pays for.
You're very what should we call it?
You're just showing that
I changed my wording, guys. Rape apologists. I said rape apologists. It's okay.
I could say you're a genocide apologist all of a sudden now.
How is that? I don't fucking pay for genocide to happen, so I don't know why you would say such a thing.
Technically, right? Like, listen.
Oh, technically, yeah. But you
Right.
do it
So you said you
directly.
bought the computer, blah,
You
blah,
do
Congo,
it
Congo,
directly.
back in the day, blah blah. The genocide.
I'm not buying a computer every single day.
If you go on this, you still bought it.
Hey, the fuck?
You have choice.
The fuck?
You know, listen,
Yeah, you
listen,
have
listen.
You're
listen.
coping. You know what coping is?
I'll say one thing. It's like saying if a rapist, right? If I say a rapist, if a rapist rapes once, is he not just because he does it once? Are you saying he's not a rapist anymore?
No, they're still a rapist.
Well, you bought the thing regardless how many times you did it.
Yeah, but there is literally no way to say that anybody was exploited for that computer.
And again, you continue to be a video editor, knowing about all these other exploitations. And that.
Sorry,
But
the
I'm
fuck?
Not gonna say, listen,
The
I'm
fuck?
not being disrespectful. I'm not gonna say.
No, you're
you
not
love-
gonna filibuster
you
here.
love-
I understood your
child,
point.
exploitation and things like that.
You're not gonna filibuster here. I understood your point. Hey, hold on, hold on.
Can't call people rapists.
Hold on, I took it fucking back. Jesus Christ, just because you're not listening, you're literally coping.
down.
You now know that you pay for rape. And you're coping about it. It's okay, you can cope. But like, don't get all upset about it.
Hey, chill down. We disagree, right? You choose the extreme accusation to doing that. We just disagree with you. There's a thing.
Yeah.
It's not more principle than
Yeah,
that.
I think rape of
not
animals is
discussing
wrong
the
and
fact,
you
but let's
don't.
discuss-
That's the disagreement.
But then all of a sudden, that makes me a rapist.
I literally took it fucking back. Can you stop coping about it? I said rape apologists.
no,
You're
no.
not rapists, you're rape
Right.
apologists. It's okay, I took it back. Holy fuck.
Accusation is crazy, bro. That's crazy.
You're rape apologists, you're not rapists. It's okay.
Right now, you understand how like, and you're you know. You
I
fight
literally
against that,
took it
that you're
back. You
not,
can
but
stop
then
coping
same-
about it.
same-
You're rape apologists, you're not rapists.
Oh, you
I
want us
changed
to
my
get away
mind, I
with it?
changed my wording, okay? You're rape apologists,
and you're-
not rapists.
You're a child exploitation apologist.
No, I'm not apologizing for it. I literally said it breaks my fucking heart that I had to buy a computer. There was no way to find out if children worked for it.
Yeah, but then you also,
That's the difference between us. I actually work for my, like, I actually know what I can. I try to look for how stuff for me are produced. You literally don't give a shit.
I'm still gonna buy it. Oh no.
Wait, controller. I'm sorry, but I think like buying a computer is not as bad as intentionally paying to rape
Intentionally, again, you're gonna say intentionally.
It is intentional.
It is intentional.
I'm gonna intentionally.
If I'm not buying a computer every day.
Let's just cope at this point.
Wait. Now with the knowledge that you have about what happens to cows, you'll still buy it.
Yeah.
So for example, if I show controller, holy shit. If I, for example, showed post, like look at this. So these computer chips are made from this manufacturer, which is really bad. Post would be like, oh, okay, so let me buy different chips from different manufacturer.
Yeah, I would
But from
never fucking
your-
buy that chip.
From your perspective, it's like, oh,
I
my
literally
local.
just said I would
my
buy
lo-
the animal that won't get raped. That's exactly what I just said.
That's not gonna happen. So good luck with that.
What do you mean that's not gonna happen? If
Because
she can
all-
buy, why can't I buy other things? Do you think she's better than me? She can buy other things. She has more autonomy over her money. And
Yeah,
I
you should just go vegan instead of coping about it. You should just go vegan.
about it. You should just keep buying the same
hold on, controller. You asked me 5 questions, and now you're going at someone else. So let me just quickly respond to you. So vegans are way better than you because they don't pay for animals to be sexually used.
I don't do it either.
Wait, you're vegan? You don't buy animal products?
Nah, I still buy animal products, you know?
So you want animals... do you want animals' vaginas to be inseminated for you, right?
No, I don't buy raped animals, no?
Well, that's not what I said. You want those female vaginas to
If
be
they
used
die,
to you.
why are they even like, you know, how do they get raped?
Are you even listening? Are you even listening to me?
No, he's not. He's not listening. He's
Okay,
just
Wait, hold on.
vomiting.
Controller, I'm gonna do this one more time. What was the last thing I said?
You said you like animals getting inseminated.
For you, yeah.
He was asking it. He wasn't saying it. He was asking.
I said, of course. I don't.
Why do you pay for it? Because it has to happen.
What? You know, what if I buy... Listen. I didn't know what happened, but what if I buy, you know, the animals that fuck naturally?
Okay.
That's still exploitation of their sexual organs.
What do you mean? What? So you're telling me animals aren't allowed to reproduce?
Wait, controller, let me literally help you out. Animal farms are made for the vaginas to be used by customers like you. Whenever you buy an animal product, those female vaginas have to be used because you want some kind of benefit from those vaginas being exploited for you.
You sound so weird saying that. That's very false. You're saying
that's the reality.
I don't know. They keep using the word rape. I don't understand that actually. They don't understand the rape.
Okay, Carlos, can you hold on? I can literally explain this. So, for example, farms benefit from the female vaginas having semen inside of them, right? Because if there is semen inside vaginas, then there's gonna be babies, and that's how farmers make money. Yes or no?
Okay.
Okay. So when you buy an animal product, you're telling the farmer, hey, could you somehow place this huge cock into a vagina because I want some kind of benefit.
Why do you say things like that, bro? You didn't need to say that.
Because that's basically what
happens.
happens.
Make it sound so weird.
It is what happens. It's the reality.
Not
so it's
all
either
things
that.
happen like that. You're just making something
Why
up.
do you
You know?
sugarcoat so much? You're sugarcoating, man.
Carlos,
Sugarcoating. He's like saying, "Oh, this chicken has a massive dick."
Do you want me to tell you in a nice way that a farmer wants a large dick to be placed in a vagina?
Bro,
do you want
I'm
me
not saying that. You just didn't have you didn't have to say the dick was big or anything. Why do you have to explicitly
It's the reality.
So let me explain that you for customers like you want the penis to go in the vagina and to squirt some juice into it because people like you want to get the benefit of eating meat and drinking milk from the production of it.
Yeah, but say if I had my own chicken coop at the back of my garden, is that fine?
Yeah, suddenly you have your own fucking backyard chicken, right? Suddenly.
I said, what if I'm asking you a question? What's the problem? I said, what if I get that?
Suddenly you have your backyard eggs.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
No, he's asking a question. It's fine. Val, he's asking a question though. He's asking, would it be okay? He's not saying he has them.
Stop. Before we get there, can we at least acknowledge that this happens? Yes or no?
Yes, I said that, and then you're saying that all of a sudden, yeah, I like rape and I watch chicken.
Wait. So with the knowledge that you have about this industry right now, are you gonna continue to support it or not?
I wouldn't support it. But listen.
So what does that mean?
I'm just saying.
Wait. When you say you don't...
Can I get a chicken coop and it'll be alright?
We will get to this in just 1 second. When you say you don't want to support this, what does it mean in terms of what you're gonna do?
Well, most of the time I don't buy the food for my family, but sometimes I do.
How the hell you know that you're not gonna do that?
So I'm gonna ask again. If you know this is wrong, what are you personally going to do about it?
When I can buy a chicken coop.
Are you still going to buy animal products like cows, cow meat, or dairy milk?
I don't know. I just find a farmer that doesn't fuck his cows.
So you're not even listening to me.
Well, listen. Not everyone's the same, you know. There must be a farmer out there that doesn't fuck his cows.
Yeah, I don't know how you describe all of them all the same, but just so
Hold on.
crazy that
Let's
way.
address this question, right? So you posed me a question with regards to backyard eggs, right? Like a hypothetical situation. Is that correct?
He's not listening.
Yeah, like few moments ago, you asked me hypothetical, right? About like backyard eggs. And
Yeah,
whether
one time my dad was gonna, do that.
Right. So it depends very much. Okay, so the most important thing here is if you have backyard hens, right, and you intend to create more of these chickens to obtain their eggs, I am against it. Now, if you currently have certain eggs, and it happened to be that you found like an egg without moving the hen in any sort of way, right? If you just found it elsewhere, privately, I would say privately, without consuming it publicly, personally, I don't see any issue, so long as you make sure that the chicken or the hens that you're having outside have sufficient food intake, right? So as you can see, there are a lot of conditions here, and I would advise against it, right? But the moment you move like a chicken or a hen to obtain the egg, right, against their will, I'm against it. Yes, I'm against it. So there are multiple considerations, and I haven't really thought about it so in deeply, but in general, the default position is careful, and especially don't do it publicly, and don't create more of these animals so that you can eat eggs.
Okay.
So these are like a few considerations, because I don't think that we should create more of these animals for our benefit so that we can just like eat eggs, because it just leads to a slippery slope, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah. But the moment you move the hen to obtain something, the moment you touch it in order to get the egg, I have an issue with it, yes. I do. Because they care about their eggs a lot, right? They don't do it for fun. Yeah.
All right, we get the output. That's great, actually. Let's keep that way, guys. You know what I'm saying?
Sup, Loki? Counter Ruff, what's up?
What's up?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm alright. What do you think about animal abuse?
What do I think about it? I don't think a lot about it.
Well, think about it now. Do you think good thing, bad thing, moral, immoral?
Yeah, I think it's bad.
Why?
Because you are causing suffering to the animals.
Yeah. Do you think like slitting their throat causes suffering to them?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Are you vegan?
I used to be, but I'm not anymore.
Okay. Why did you go vegan in the first place?
Because I was born in the Buddhist family, so I lived with my grandmother, and she was strictly a vegan.
Yeah, I wouldn't actually call this vegan. Like being on a plant-based diet for religious reasons, or even being like ethically considerate of animals for religious reasons is sometimes kind of illogical. So, but you know, let's call it vegan anyways. Why did you stop being vegan?
Because I guess I enjoy meat.
Yeah. So did your grandma impass at you the moral implications of you eating meat, like the harm to animals and stuff like that?
She understood that, but she did not like. She was an activist, and a lot of members in her family
they also ate meat, and she didn't mind. She didn't stop them or anything.
Okay. So did you ever consider animals in your choices?
What?
Did you ever consider the animals? Did you ever like look at a meat slab and said, oh, this harms an animals and I'm opposed to harming animals? Did that thought ever cross your mind?
I mean, I do, but that's probably too much thinking and it's going to give me a headache.
Thinking gives you a headache?
Yeah, I mean, how far can you think of that?
Well, as
Like,
far
for
as
example-
like...
No,
as-
like, for example, when I eat a bowl of rice, do I think that all of the insects that been killed because of that bowl of rice, for example?
Yeah, insects is an interesting question. There is a question mark there if they're capable of suffering. But like, did you know that animals who are raised for food, they also eat like harvested crops, and like pesticides and all that stuff were applied to those crops, and grasses, by the way. So like, because an animal like eats food, and then the amount of food they produce once they're slaughtered is somewhere between 10% to 25% of the calories they took in, they put out, quote unquote. Therefore, like eating an animal like just kills more insects. And even though there is a question mark there, because we don't know, we probably should reduce the amount of insects dying for crops, right?
Well, so you're saying that a farm, like the, the meat industry kills more insects than the agriculture or the farming industry?
Oh, many more, not just insects, like mammals, coyotes, like all kinds of carnivores. Just the amount of flies that die on animal farms is like astonishing.
But in a lot of farms, they use wild grass, so they did not cultivate the grass. So basically,
yeah, it's like 1% of. Yeah, it's
so
like
the problem
1% of. Sorry.
The problem is that the diet of those livestock, it's just the way it is.
Yeah, well, the thing is though, it's like a minuscule amount, like minuscule percent of the farms that does that's just grass, but also they harvest the grass during winter times, and also like alfalfa is considered to be grass. So it's not like it's not possible to feed an animal only like on like grass on the land, but also like those animals like walk around, right? So they kill insects as well. And in the past, like in case of beef, let's say, in the last 3 months of their life, they must be in a pen, so in a locked area, because otherwise they're never gonna reach the weight that farmers decided they're supposed to. So they eat like harvested grasses, which kill insects. They store those grasses in like sheds where they spray pesticides for that. They also grow specific crops like alfalfa, and that's called grasses. They grow that specifically for these animals. And as I said, just the flies. Just like the matter of the flies, it's crazy. But even if like the animals grew just like on grass, there are like, that's beef, so they kill the flies, they step on all kinds of animals in the grass, right? And the farmers have to like kill the coyotes for that, and then the animals they're transported, so that kills. And like in case of chickens, it becomes like totally bunk, right, that claim, because chickens eat only grains, and they produce about 10% of the calories, so it's 90% more supposedly insect deaths than in case of just eating the crops directly, just eating the rice, the soy, the wheat directly. Sorry, I talked for a really long time. I apologize.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
So you say that like if we cut down the meat industry, we will reduce 10% of insect death.
No, 90. 90.
90. Oh, I see.
Potentially. It's somewhere about, so here's the thing, right? We have science on this. So if we, not just meat, but all animal products, if we gone away with animal agriculture, we would reduce agricultural land by 75%. So that's already just like, even the animal agriculture land itself kills a lot of animals outside of the animals themselves that they raise for it, right? But also like we could reduce croplands by 2 million hectares. So that's 2 million hectares less of insect deaths. And we could actually feed more people this way. So animal agriculture is like illogical. We're destroying everything for it.
Uh-huh.
Hey, I got a question for you, Pose.
Sure.
I forget the question.
That's all right.
Oh, all right. Should we call the almond milk drinkers the big killers?
There is actually research on this. First of all, like nutritionally, I wouldn't say almond milk is good, and I myself boycott almonds, but I don't consider it as a must, because there is research that actually producing almonds saves bees. It doesn't kill them. It actually saves them because, I should find it. Hold on, I'll find the research. Because what happens is that so honeybees are hired, quote unquote, to produce the almonds, to what's it called, pollinate the almond trees, and it appears that if these bees weren't hired for almonds, they just would be killed. So actually, the fact that they're hired for almonds means that they are not killed, so it saves animals instead of killing them.
Well, actually, I have the thing that actually almond farming is one of the biggest threat to the bees in the United States. Almonds require it's
pollination. It's honey production. So. The only bees that are enslaved by farmers are the honeybees, and those are the bees that are hired for pollinating things like almonds, avocados, and like tomatoes and stuff like that. And it seems to save the animals, not kill them.
But that's happening to be killed, that they die. There's billions of bees, natural, stress condition, you know.
So the honeybees are displacing actual bees. That's what you mean, I think. That's not for almond production, that's for honey production.
But they die too, so.
They're killed actually for honey. That's so imagine it's like this, right? So let's say I create a product, right? And for that product, I enslave little children. And I only use them a couple of months a year for whatever I need them to produce. Let's say mine cobalt, because that's what we were talking about. And once they stopped mining cobalt, the mine is closed for the 9 months of a year. I just kill the children. But somebody comes to me and says, listen, instead of killing the children, let us take them for the 9 months, right? We can use them on our farm, right? And then we return them to you. So I no longer kill the children. That's what happens for almonds. But as I said, I avoid eating almonds and avocados because for more like environmental reasons, because I think it's like uses a lot of water, and also it displaces the bees, as you correctly said, but it displaces the bees for the honey industry. There are so many honeybees that they actually kill the wild bee population. I think almonds, so the almonds that we usually eat, I think they can't be artificially populated. So I think this almond should like disappear. It shouldn't exist. But there are other strands of almonds which we can produce, and they can self-pollinate. For some reason, they're just not as well. For some reason, because nobody gives a shit about animals. That's why. But almond production can be saved. Can be like rehabilitated, and we can do it without exploiting bees. That's why I think like, you know, we shouldn't like completely kill the industry. Whereas like honeybee industry, like the honey industry, it's like inherently exploits bees. Like honey wouldn't exist without the exploitation of bees, commercial honey, right? So yeah, sometimes it's a matter of inherency. So some things, like for instance, I don't like crop deaths. I don't like that insects are killed for rice and stuff like that. And I think we can rehabilitate it, but we shouldn't abolish rice, because rice can be grown without killing insects. We just have to invent that thing, right? The way computers can exist without the exploitation of children. We just need to like make sure that no children are exploited for the computers and the phones and stuff like that. And as I said, we're already kind of doing it. So even a couple of years ago, it wasn't available, but now it's available. You can buy new computers with recycled gold and cobalt. So.
All right. I mean, almonds are responsible for 80% of the global almond supply, and the most come from California, right?
No,
So,
not most of them. Most of them comes from Spain, actually. In Europe, they don't come from California.
No, I mean, for a global supply, quote unquote, California is the biggest.
Yeah. Do you have like where are you reading this from? Can you send it to me, please?
Sure, again.
Yeah.
Sweet.
This guy really cares about almonds.
Yeah.
Bees. I'm
Yeah.
guessing that you also boycott them.
No, I mean, I just wanted to like see the view
Oh,
of
okay.
it. You know?
Yeah.
Then,
Yeah. I mean, why should we
So you
kill
do them, why we
almonds,
don't?
right? Is it like different kind of farm or something like that?
Excuse me?
Yeah, I mean, if almond farming costs million bee deaths every year, how is it morally better than meat
Well, it
farming?
doesn't, though. It doesn't. It saves bees, again. Like, because the bees are hired from the honey industry, therefore the bees are not killed. It saves bees. It doesn't kill
All right,
bees.
let's hear your search.
Yeah,
I'll give
sure.
you my
Oh,
search.
yeah,
don't
fuck, I was
remember
looking for
anybody
it.
in this VC promoting almonds.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
I
think
think...
anybody in here was like telling you to buy almonds, were we?
And there's
I
no
don't say that. You just make it
there's
up,
the-
actually.
no argument that's contingent on veganism being based on almonds, so it's seems a moot point,
I
right?
don't say that. I just want to see the different view of the almond. Let's take one example from almond first, right?
Sure,
But
so...
you don't care about almond. You already
What
care. You don't
care about
boycott them
almonds?
yourself.
How is that
I
different from
literally
killing
told you
animals?
that I boycott them.
So it is just an appeal to hypocrisy that
That's you, but
fails
it's
because
not
she
the
already
law, right?
boycotts almond.
It's not just about
Yeah,
you,
this
so.
is this basically boils down to like a Tupacque fallacy and like an appeal to nirvana. Basically, that's what it is. If veganism can't be perfect, I'm not gonna bother. If you're not perfect, you're a hypocrite. Basically, that's what it is. It's just pointing fingers.
But again, this is happening. So how's it
No,
different
no,
with
I put
killing
my,
animals,
I
so
told you why
just
it's
take one
not
example.
happening, and I put the paper in the chat, so you can, sorry Carlos, I'm gonna be a little crass. You should take that link and go read it before you continue making the claim that I suppose, like, at least, you know, I gave you a counterclaim and then I gave you evidence for it. So you should go and read that instead of continue repeating yourself as if it's true.
All right, let's check it out.
That sounds fair, right? That's fair. That's how we change our minds. Right. I think I'm gonna go, guys. I'm a little knackered. See you. Bye. Right. This was a bit impromptu. I wasn't planning on this. But then I saw Felix is in BC and I was like, fuck it. Let's go. Let's do some activism. Nobody went vegan today, which sucks. On Friday. Fridays are always better anyways. So how have you been doing, people? What's up? What's up, Navia? What's up, Dry Herb Voter? Is that you, Kathy? Is that Kathy, Dry Herb Voter? Oh, you guys are quiet. So maybe I guess I'm... Oh, yeah. There you go. Now there's your wing. Yeah, the almond thing is funny. By the way, if you guys want to read that paper, I should probably read that paper too. Here it is. It's the paper on how almonds actually save bees, but I should read it first. Sorry about that, guys. Sometimes it's just not enough fucking hours in a day or mental availabilities in a day to read everything. But I should read that paper because I make the claim so strongly. Maybe somebody else can read it for me and like summarize it. Help me out. Help support your vegan activist. Read the paper in my stead so that I can concentrate on creatine instead. I'm just joking. Guys, thank you so much for coming. Just a little bit of vegan activism. See you next time.